Broadcasting from Century Studios in downtown Regina, Harvard Media presents the Sports Cage, where Saskatchewan comes to talk local sports. Be part of the show. Call 1-866-767-0620 or text 306-936-6262. The Sports Cage. Streaming at sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, and on the radio at 620 CKRM.
Welcome back to the Sports Cage, this Monday edition. I'm your host, Tegan Whitco, joined by voice of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Mr. Dave Thomas. Curtis Gammon, he's hanging out with us here, making sure that we stay on the air, on the stream at sportscage.com, on YouTube as well, and of course you can find us on X. Join in the conversation at any point on that YouTube stream. There's a chat there, or you can text us at 936-6262. You can also call us toll-free at any point at 1-866-767-0620. All of our guests are going to be joining us on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. Perfect pizza, generous amount of toppings, and all the Greek favorites you love. So, of course, we're going to get to a little NHL action here in just a bit. That Stanley Cup final Game 3 was definitely one for the record books. I can't wait to dive into that one. I'm just saying, I'm still going Vegas. Don't give me that look.
No, I'm not doubting you at all. I
want Vegas to win this whole thing.
Because of Mitch Marner?
No, because they're the villains.
Okay.
I'm still going with that storyline. I like that storyline.
The villains?
Yeah,
okay.
The villains. I'm a team Joker girl over here.
I got so frustrated with Carolina that I turned it off in Game 3.
You didn't even finish watching it?
Did not. It was 3-0.
Double
and I was
overtime, man.
3-0. I'm like, I'm out. See you later.
We're going to have to dive into that one. You got to do better as a hockey fan, Dave.
No, I don't. Come on. There was CFL on, too.
No, that's also true. It was a busy weekend in the world of sports. Week 1, CFL. We're going to get to that in just a little bit here. We're also going to talk some baseball because this was exciting news that came through just yesterday. Moose Jaw Little League, they just won a grant for $150,000 through the Jays Care Foundation. They're going to be upgrading the lights at Gamble Diamond in Moose Jaw there. $150,000? That is huge. So, Little League President Bobby Hill going to be joining us here in just a bit. That is a massive upgrade. We also have the Riders Coaches Show for the first time this season because the Riders are going to be heading into their first week, technically week 2 of the CFL regular season. So we're going to talk to him a little bit about what we can expect heading into this West Final rematch to kick off the season. It would have been fun to see them play Montreal in week 2, but they built the schedule before the Grey Cup even happened.
Yeah. I get that.
Do you have feelings about that,
No,
Dave?
no. Again, I'm one of those people that the schedule is the schedule. You play the schedule. At some points, the schedule isn't really good, but the schedule is the schedule and everybody knows it, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm not a person that's going to yell at the schedule because in my mind, it's kind of like sitting back and yelling at the clouds. It's not going to change anything.
Shaking your fist.
And it it just looks a little grouchy, right? So in an ideal world, what I would have loved to have seen a Montreal-Saskatchewan rematch in the home of the Grey Cup champions.
In week 1.
In week 1 to kick off the season, right?
Yeah.
I thought that would have been cool. But again, there's so many other factors that I would never, ever begrudge anyone in any sport, in any time or place that has to put a schedule because that's probably the worst thing ever that you'd have to do as a job.
Well, and all of these fans, I understand, they're getting frustrated. They didn't have the Grey Cup final rematch in week 1. There was all these teams that had bye weeks in week 1. But again, how often do we have FIFA in North America? This is a very rare occurrence. And they had to build out the schedule before we were even done last season. So you got to give them some grace.
For sure we do. I agree with that. I'm just, again, like I said, I'm not going to yell at the schedule or anything. I just thought, it would have been kind of nice if he just made that kind of a tradition. Instead, it's going to be a heck of a week in October when on Thanksgiving Monday, the Riders are in Montreal and then the Alouettes come back here the following week.
Home and home.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, it is a West Final rematch. As I mentioned, I think we might need to bust out that weird techno song that we created right before last year's West Final.
I forgot
We're the
about
Big Dogs.
that.
Yeah, We're the Big
Yes.
Dogs. I don't think Curtis has it on standby here, and I did not prep him with that whatsoever. But it was a lot of fun because that was the first time I think we saw Trevor Harris get a little spicy before a game. Yep, it was a lot of fun to watch.
It was.
He doesn't do that often. Riders Coaches Show head coach Corey Mace is going to be joining us as we head into this weekend's game. Clutch performer. I'm not going to spoil anything, but we are going to go with a hockey player who happens to be a Sasky boy. And we're also going to be talking about a few other clutch performers from this past weekend. I'm looking forward to that. You got to go with McNabb. Come on. Darian Durant also going to pop by because I know he was watching some football over the weekend. There was quite a few takeaways from week 1 in the CFL. I'm very curious to see what he thinks ahead of this Saturday rematch against the BC Lions. Red Sox report. Red Sox are also back at her. Strong start to the season, so we're going to have a player joining us. Justin Simard is going to be popping in just after 5:30, so we'll have a conversation with him. If there are any questions, by the way, that you have for our guests that are going to be coming down, you can feel free to text us at any point on the Prairie Land Rentals text line at 306-936-6262. I should probably open up that text line just to be safe here. But yeah, Darian Durant, head coach Corey Mace, Bobby Hill from Moose Jaw Little League, and of course a player from the Regina Red Sox. If you got anything for them, let us know. The Prairie Land Rentals text line is brought to you by Prairie Land Rentals, of course. From small power tools to skid steers, they probably have what you need. Deal with the owner at 600 Albert Street. Did you get your Rough Rider Foundation 50-50 tickets, Dave? Are you allowed to win?
Yeah. Absolutely, I can. I hope so, or they just sold a bunch of tickets to the wrong guy.
Well, you might be contributing to somebody else's pocketbook.
Oh, you know what?
Do people still have pocketbooks?
I don't know. Probably.
Maybe. Early bird prize to be won, though.
Well, I know. And, you know, it's cool because, again, can I throw out a stat that just astounds me that nobody has really talked about?
You throwing out stats? I never would have guessed.
Never would have happened, right?
It's not like it's your job.
Last year, Canadian Football League, 9 teams, right, sent $5.6 million back into youth football programming in our country. So youth programming in our country, $5.6 million between the 9 CFL teams. 3.3 million of said 5.6 million was from the Saskatchewan Rough Rider Foundation.
We know how to do 50-50s out west here.
Yeah. And
Saskatchewan specifically.
Trust me, I would not, and in the least, be upset if Corey Mace called me and told me on Labor Day I won $1 million in the 50-50. Trust me, I wouldn't. But at the end of the day, you know what? I know that I'm helping out some kids do some pretty cool things. So again, that's the win-win. I know that, it's sappy, but no, it's true. Because I'm taking the prize money if I get it. Trust me.
Oh, yeah. Okay, early bird prize. Variety of different packages that you can buy, by the way. So you can get your tickets online, which is even easier. Riders5050.ca. So the current early bird prize, which, by the way, the deadline is tomorrow night, right? Tomorrow
Tuesday,
night,
yes.
Yeah, 10 p.m. So make sure that you grab them now. Summer Rocky Mountain Family Getaway. 3 nights at the Malcolm Hotel in Canmore. I have looked up this hotel. It's really fancy. Mm-hmm. An icefield adventure and a ride on the Banff gondola, which just sounds incredible. I really need to go to Banff. You can also take the money and run. Let's say that I go to Banff all the time. La-di-da. You can take $3,600 in cash instead.
Way to sell that.
Well, I mean, come on. Not everybody wants a trip. Maybe you're a homebody. It's fine.
It's all good.
$3,600 doesn't sound bad either. Riders5050.ca. Get your tickets before tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Don't wait until tomorrow. Just do it now. Get it done.
And you can subscribe. Become a team member. Mm-hmm. And then you don't have to worry about forgetting. That's exactly it.
Then you're good. Okay, let's talk a little NHL here before we have to take a break. I'm curious about this Vegas-Carolina game tomorrow night, Game 4. Mm-hmm. Who's starting in net for Carolina?
Oh.
I know I'm putting you on the spot here because Freddie did not look great.
I think you go back with him.
Do you?
Yeah. He's the guy that got you there. I think you got it. Like, you don't go to the rookie.
I think you do. Freddie looked shaky. I don't think you go back to Anderson in this game. I think that you go with Bussy, and I think that you put all of your hope into him. You can always pull him after he lets a couple in.
Yeah, I know, but if you let a couple in, like, you could be out.
Against Vegas? Yeah.
So I just.
I'm not a coach in the NHL, but I don't know if I like the confidence in Freddie Anderson right now.
That's true.
He was letting a couple squeakers through.
Can I ask you this about this series? So John Tortorella, right, came in with 3 weeks to go in the regular season. Mm-hmm. And then Rod Brindamore, who's one of the longest serving coaches in the National Hockey League. Is John Tortorella out coaching Rod Brindamore right now?
100%.
Is that the difference?
Yes.
All right, then.
I think so, because sometimes that's all it takes, I think.
Yeah.
And we see it all the time in the NHL. You make that little coaching change, and that's why all of the pressure goes on the coaches, and you don't, well, you obviously see on social media, fire your captain, get rid of this guy, get rid of that guy, but it always boils down to the head coach. Sometimes you just need a change of voice in that locker room. And I think John Tortorella, we were all calling him crazy. We were all saying, Vegas, what are you doing?
Yes. Oh, yeah, for sure.
But now it's paying off in dividends.
Okay, if you could rewind the tape and go back to when he was hired, do you remember what I said about John Tortorella and Mitch Marner?
Mm-hmm.
The two of them are BFFs now.
Oh, yeah.
Like they go to brunch on Sundays, everything. I don't know about that.
Have a little eggs Benny.
Yeah.
Mimosa.
Yeah, I can see one of those two having mimosas.
Yeah.
And I'll let you figure out which one I think that is. But I'm just saying, like, I never thought it would have worked. Never thought it would have worked between the two of them. I thought one of the two would be railroaded out by the end of the year, and it was probably going to be Tortorella, who didn't sign for any longer than the year. So obviously, Mr. McCrimmon knows exactly what he is doing.
Oh, he's got a good head on his shoulders, especially when it comes to Marner.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Conn Smythe, here we come. He has been incredible to watch.
Yeah.
Quickest hat trick in Stanley Cup final history. What was it, like 6 minutes?
Yeah.
He got a hattie?
Yeah.
6 minutes and 30 seconds. It doesn't matter.
I can't remember. I got mad and turned it off right after that.
So clearly you're going for Carolina. Still, you haven't changed your mind?
No.
It's painful for a lot of Carolina fans, and I understand that.
Are there a lot of Carolina fans out there?
I don't know if there are in Western Canada necessarily, but I do think most Leafs fans have converted.
Really? What about, do you think there's still Hartford Whaler fans that cheer for Carolina? No, like seriously.
Maybe. I don't know. Text us 306-936-6262. Are we missing out on a demographic here? I don't want to leave anybody out.
Do you want to talk NHL coaches?
The
two rumors from today? Well, the two rumors from today?
Yeah.
So Peter Laviolette apparently was talking with Edmonton and Toronto and is going to go to LA.
Which is wild.
Yes. And then Saskatoon, Saskatchewan own Mike Babcock. His son is Michael, who's coaching
not to be confused with Mike.
Yeah. So Mike Babcock has apparently been talking with the Edmonton Oilers. Apparently.
It's only talking.
How would Oilers fans feel about that?
Not good.
He's won everything you can as a coach. He had, I was going to say a little indiscretion, but okay, so he looked at players' phones, which we don't know why.
And then had people ranking their teammates.
Did that one in Toronto, yeah.
Didn't like that.
But if you need a person and a coach to get you over the top in Edmonton, might he not be your guy?
I don't think long term.
No, I'm not suggesting long term.
Maybe again, for a season.
He does stay where he goes, right? And again, he didn't forget how to coach and how to coach winning teams.
That's something that you can't lose. No, I thought you were going to go directly to the Joe Pavelski rumors.
No, I didn't.
Possibly Pavelski to the Leafs. There was also a rumor about Patrick Waugh going to the Leafs this weekend.
That was out there too, right? Yeah. I don't know what the Leafs are going to do.
Does anybody know what they're doing at MLSE right now?
You know,
I don't even think they know what they're doing.
It would be hard pressed to find an argument for that one. I'll just let you know on that.
It's all of the rumors, all of the things that are coming out on social media. Obviously, you can't believe 99% of them.
No. You're telling me there's some inaccuracies on the internet? You're kidding. You're joking.
Everything on Twitter is accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I get all of my life lessons from.
Fair.
I don't know what the Leafs are going to do next. I thought Bruce Cassidy for sure. But it's hard to say. And I don't think any moves are going to happen anytime soon.
Well, because the Vegas Knights aren't letting him talk to anybody.
Well, but I think they would let him talk to the Leafs. Different division.
Think so? I don't know. I really think that Kelly McCrimmon was saying, you know what? Wait, we're playing hockey still? Like, we'll deal with this later.
You're not going to let him go to Edmonton. There's no way.
No, I can't see that. I would have a hard time seeing that Mike Babcock would be in Edmonton as well.
I thought Babcock was done in the NHL because didn't he coach up in Saskatoon with the Huskies for a bit?
He was the best paid coach in U Sports history.
But did U Sports even pay him?
No, because he was still making his millions. I can't remember what was the deal. Was it $6 or $7 million a season he was making? And so he came on with the University of Saskatchewan Huskies, and they obviously didn't pay him anything because if they did, then it would have nullified his contract. So he became the best paid coach in U Sports.
And then I remember looking it up. I can't remember who it was that he was in talks with right after his contract expired, like his previous contract expired with the Leafs. Then there was all these these rumors that he was going to get picked up by other NHL teams.
But I think I honestly believe that he's content. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've done kind of what I want to do. I'm enjoying, like, I know that
he had a good run in Moose Jaw.
Yeah. He had a good run everywhere, like really, except for Columbus, where he never coached a game.
Yeah.
But, in all, like, again, and I'm not kidding, like, again, you don't forget how to coach. And once you've figured out how to get that, that the Oilers kind of seem to be lacking, unfortunately, it's kind of guys that look like they want to vomit between the posts.
That was a different kind of oomph.
Yeah, that was like the ugh when you see what their goaltending depth looks like. But I'm just, again, he did a great thing at the U of S. I think it's awesome, and he got a chance to coach and work with his son, which I would say
pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome. And then his son has taken the next step in his coaching journey, which is cool too. So, like I say, never say never. It's a rumor that's floating around. I don't know what. My curiosity is, what do Edmonton Oilers fans think about that?
I am curious. I'm sure there's a lot of big feels. So you can let us know, 306-936-6262 on that Prairie Land Rentals text line. I also saw Lucic announced he's officially calling it a career.
I didn't know that he hadn't. I know that's terrible, but I thought he had retired already. 17
NHL seasons. I mean, come on. You got to give the guy his flowers a little bit.
Well, former Vancouver Giant, right? Like, again, when he got to Boston, right? That's where he's going to be associated with, right?
Boston? Absolutely. Yeah. That's going to be where if he gets his number raised, that's where it's going to happen, right? He was there for, I don't even know how many years. I know he played 17 seasons.
Yes. It's the same number as his jersey, right? So, but again,
so it's kind of poetic, kind of nice.
He had his day. He was
a pest, but we liked him.
Yeah. Well, he was with Marchand, right? Like,
Well,
can you imagine the two of those? Yeah, exactly what I'm thinking.
All right. Well, Game 4 tomorrow, Stanley Cup final. I'm curious to see who's going to be starting in net for Carolina. Carter Hart has been standing on his head, so I think they're okay on that side.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, I think you got to go with Freddie Anderson if you're Carolina, but that's just...
You want to put money down on this in our sprinkle of the day later?
Okay, fair enough. I don't know if it'll show up, but
I don't know if that is a prop.
You're going with the rookie, right? You're going with... Bussy, thank you.
Bussy, yeah. We'll see if he starts tomorrow. I think you need to, because you can always swap it out, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong.
You can't go down 3-1 in the series. This is must win.
I still want to see it go 7 games.
That's all right. I know.
Everybody wants a Game 7 in the Stanley Cup final.
My television has other channels, so I'm confident that if you want it to go 7, it can.
Well, there's also good movies in theater right now, so I'd be okay if it ended earlier. I want to see Backrooms, okay? Scary Movie 6? What? I'm in. CFL?
No, I didn't just hear that.
Yeah, it was the best. Come on.
Scary Movie.
The Scary Movie franchise is fantastic. They got really bad after about the second one. Stopped watching, but now I need to go back. Call me a teenager. It's fine.
So did you skip 3, 4, and 5?
Basic. Well, I skimmed through. You don't need to watch them.
Fair.
Yeah. The newest one looks like the best.
Okay.
Come on. I'm all about that nostalgia. Before we have to take a break, let's jump to CFL. Because we were talking about this off air. And I do want to talk a little bit about some of the games that took place this weekend. Former Saskatchewan Roughrider CJ Rivas, he had a pretty bad hit on Cody Fajardo.
Yeah.
Don't love that. I'm wondering if there's a fine incoming for this one. It didn't look intentional. It didn't look malicious. Oof. But if you're watching the stream, you can see it right there. And Cody looked fine. Let me just preface that. Cody got right back up. I know there's been a lot of concern over, previous concussions and whatnot, but he stayed in the game, which is the good news.
And you know what? I'll be the first to back CJ Rivas as a person, right? Again, this was such a bang play. When you watch it in slow motion, it is a terrible play where CJ Rivas is coming out of the defensive secondary, coming up on Cody Fajardo, who had left the pocket, and in my eyes, maybe started his slide just a little bit too late.
Yeah.
Still, again, you still can't go ahead and justify the hit. Because,
it's also pouring rain.
Yeah. But that's not CJ Rivas.
No.
CJ Rivas is going to be physical. He is going to pursue the football, and he is going to get there as quickly as he can. Unfortunately for him, again, there was helmet-on-helmet contact at the end of it. And like I say, it's a competitive player in a competitive situation and a bang play with a quarterback that's going down. Again, I'm not going to fault the quarterback for going down late because we got to protect the quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
But again, CJ Rivas, I don't believe has a malice bone in his body. He is physical. He is a football player to the whistle, and that's it.
It was an unfortunate situation, but I think that one might come back to bite him a little bit. Honestly, can we also just talk about how unfortunate the weather has been in Ottawa to start this season?
Every year, Ottawa has at least a monsoon and a half. And people made fun of me the first trip that I made to Ottawa when the rain was going up.
Oh, right.
And it really, truly was. And
so when's the first game in Ottawa this season for the Riders?
We are there week 3, 4.
Oh, good.
Just after. We're
so
there
bring
July
your poncho.
the 3rd. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, I won't bring a poncho.
Oh, you're in the broadcast
I'll be in the booth. Yeah, you would need the poncho.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to stay here and do the show with Wes from the studio where it's nice and dry.
How was that week 1? All road teams won, right?
Yeah.
And again, a lot of people, I would point to perhaps Calgary, losing that game as opposed to Winnipeg winning it. Is I thought that Dedrick Mills was outstanding in the first half.
So good.
And why they didn't run the football in the second half is beyond me. But obviously they saw something along the way.
That was a common thread, though. Just stopped running the football. You mentioned that beforehand.
Yeah.
Like they just gave up.
It seemed, to me, it seemed very ironic that they just stopped running the ball and got away from it. But again, maybe they saw something at halftime in their adjustment and they went from there. The Edmonton-Ottawa game, I thought was...
Justin Rankin?
Yeah, Justin Rankin is going to be one of the most exciting players in this league this season.
Very fun to watch.
Well, fun to watch if you're cheering for him.
Well,
but
even if you're, an unbiased CFL fan.
For sure.
He is just so good.
It's deceptive, though, isn't it? Like, because he is
don't know where
fast,
he's running. Yeah.
And just next thing you know, he's 0 to 60 right now. And breaking tackles, he's
finding
physical.
Those perfect gaps.
He knows where to block. He knows how to catch the football out of the backfield as well and find time and space. So, again, Ottawa, if you look at it, they turned the ball over 4 times. So that was a tough one. And, I'm kind of cheering for Jake Maier because I made a bold prediction at the start of the year that he would be the best quarterback in the East.
Really?
I went out on a limb. I usually don't do predictions, but I thought that Ottawa's offense and Jake Maier would speak to each other. And again, you're playing in a monsoon, so there's not a lot that you can do. He showed some moxie near the end of the game, continuing to march Ottawa down. And even though they were down by 16 at one point, he was able to keep the team going. And I think that as him and Eugene Lewis start to find some chemistry.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be a dangerous combination.
Dynamic duo right there. So I like a lot with Jake Maier in Ottawa.
And you also have another former Saskatchewan Roughrider in Ottawa in Brett Lawther.
Yeah, 2 for 2, right?
Yeah. And
great opening night for Brett.
And I do feel a little bit bad because he just splits the uprights perfectly on that one field goal. But it was negated because of a time count violation. And you see Brett throw up his hands in the air. What the heck happened? Yeah. And I don't think he realized that. It looked like they got the ball off in time, but apparently they didn't. It was a 45-yarder right down the middle.
Oh,
perfect
absolutely.
Hit. So could not have been executed more perfectly.
I've said it before. I like cheering on people. I like cheering on Brett Lawther. And
big fan.
Again, I understand why the change was made. I'm not doubting that for a second. But you know what? Brett Lawther has got to play his first game with a new team in a monsoon. I'm like, poor guy.
Mm-hmm.
But then Montreal Hamilton, should mention that game too, is again, I thought Hamilton was going to go ahead and walk away with the game. I didn't think that Montreal was I don't know I didn't think that they were as polished as I thought that they would be coming out of the gate. Now, don't get me wrong.
It's also week 1.
Yeah. The Philpott catch, probably one of the best all year long. And Davis Alexander, you know what? It's hard to cheer against that guy. Like, he's just is so efficient. And if you're watching the stream at sportscage.com, you'll see Tyson Philpott reach around the defender and use his back to cradle the ball before bringing it back one-handed around him. So a pass that many would argue shouldn't probably have been thrown, but Philpott made the play, and you got to give the guy credit.
That's what Philpott does. Right? And he's been known for that. He just does it time and time again. He is another fun player to watch. This just gets me so excited for the first game at Mosaic Stadium this weekend.
I felt like, you know, I don't know if you had this, but like I had a friend, and his birthday was a week before mine, right? So he always got the cake and the presents and everything like that. And then I had to wait another week. And that's what this has felt like the last week.
Do you think the players feel the same way? Because you know that we're all sitting and watching week 1.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it at all. You want to get out there and play.
I mean, there's also multiple teams that had to sit out week 1 and wait.
They probably didn't have the money cake allure that I did back in the day.
Yeah, something like that. But the first game for the Saskatchewan Roughriders is going to be coming up this Saturday, Mosaic Stadium, banner raising night. Yes, the defending Grey Cup champions are going to be playing their first game of the regular season against the BC Lions, and we are looking forward to it. We will have all the coverage right here. Also, you have an opportunity to pick the score. So listeners, you get 3 chances every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Mornings, middays, and the Sports Cage. Pick the score for the next Rider home game. So if you accurately get it right, the closest guess will be winning a $200 SaskTel gift card. So what you need to do right now is guess that score by texting us on the Prairie Land Rentals text line, 306-936-6262. If you want to win that 200 bones for SaskTel, what do you think the score is going to be? 306-936-6262. It's the Lions, it's the Riders, it's at Mosaic Stadium, and their homecoming this Saturday afternoon, 5 o'clock kickoff, okay? So text us, 306-936-6262.
Make it a challenge.
You don't make predictions, though, do you?
No, but how about guess the calories that Luke and I are going to consume in the tailgate zone prior to the game?
Is there pizza?
I don't know. There's going to be food, and I'm just following Luke.
I'm excited to see how that whole tailgate situation's going to look.
Yeah.
It's the first time ever.
And you know what? Obviously, tailgates are going to have watermelons, right?
Oh, you have to.
I'm sure they will.
I think that's a requirement to get in, isn't it?
Well, loosely. But I honestly didn't I didn't realize that you can still get that watermelon pack, by the way, where you get that ticket for the home game where they raise the banner and Labor Day at the same time. My bad. I didn't realize. So
Riderville.com.
Yeah.
Go hit them up. See you at the game this week, and make sure you see us in the Sports Cage Lounge. But we do need to take a quick break, and we're going to be back on the other side with Moose Jaw Little League President Bobby Hill. The league just won $150,000 through the Jays Care Foundation to upgrade the lights at Gamble Diamond. So we're going to hear from him in just a moment here. It's a Sports Cage, and it's on the home of Rider Nation, 620 CKRM, and streaming at sportscage.com. Welcome back to the Sports Cage. My name is Tegan Whitco, joined by Dave Thomas, voice of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. And of course, Curtis is keeping us on the air and on the stream at sportscage.com. All of our guests joining us on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. Perfect pizzas, generous amount of toppings, and all the Greek favorites you love. Joining us now, of course, Moose Jaw Little League President Bobby Hill, who recently spearheaded the organization's successful bid to secure a $150,000 Jays Care Foundation grant for the Field of Dreams. This is such an incredible achievement. Just your first thoughts when you heard the news here, Bobby.
Well, we were ecstatic. When it comes to this Little League organization, it's been running in Moose Jaw since the 1950s, right? So we have generations of kids who have played in this, but one thing we've never had is the ability to play under the lights in that, Little League age group. So to be able to provide this for kids, it's just incredible. And we couldn't be more excited about the opportunity.
The grant is going to be allowing the league to install lights at Gamble Diamond, opening up opportunities for evening games, larger provincial tournaments in the near future. That's got to be a pretty incredible opportunity for your organization to even bring in new players, right?
Absolutely. Baseball is such a great sport and such a team sport. We're hoping that this can really move kids back to baseball. I know growing up, Little League was kind of the only thing that you could do in the spring and summer. Lacrosse was just kind of getting going in Moose Jaw, but we've seen our numbers, dip a little bit, but start to work up after the Jays made the run last year. So we're hoping that, this Jays Care grant is going to do the same thing moving forward.
Bobby, when we see Little League or talk about it, we talk often about the Little League World Series, and sometimes we overlook the fact that that's right in our backyard. Can you tell me about the age groups that are involved and how kids get involved and have a chance to play?
So Little League itself, we have in Moose Jaw, we have a learn to play division. So you can really start 4 to 5 years old. And that kind of just helps develop some base skills for the kids when it comes to throwing the ball, swinging the bat, and running the bases. We try to keep it as fun as possible and as light as possible. And we move up, to a junior rookie division, a senior rookie division, minor division. And when we talk about the Little League World Series, the one that we see on TV, that's our major division. So that's, 12 and under. And it is what kids who play Little League look forward to every single year, the opportunity to get there. I know I had the opportunity to play for the Moose Jaw All-Stars back in the day, and those darn North Regina All-Stars beat us in the provincial final. But it's just super exciting, and to be on a national and international stage for kids, it's a great opportunity.
I'll take you down a path on memory lane for me, but the question that I'm going to ask is what impact the Toronto Blue Jays have, not just in being able to provide some funds through their Jays Care Foundation, which is sensational, but the impact that the team has on communities around Canada. I remember when they won the World Series the first time in 1992, there was a community in Saskatchewan that hadn't ordered enough baseballs for the next season because they just didn't think in a million years that things would jump off and take off as much as they had.
Yeah, and we did see that big number or that big increase this year as well. Obviously you have some superstars on the Jays right now with, Vladdy and Springer and I think just the youthfulness of the team really helps get kids into baseball. And the way that baseball has evolved over the years, it's getting there's a little bit more of the showmanship that's happening out there, and kids like it, right? So it does, whether it's the Toronto Blue Jays or them Yankees or Dodgers, it makes it exciting for kids. And honestly, like my boys are in senior rookie and minor age division, and seeing them react to a single or a double, just the way the major leaguers do it, it's amusing for me and just fun to see the excitement.
How competitive was this grant process? I imagine there was a lot of, leagues all across the country who were competing for this. So what did it take and what did it mean for you to actually win this Jays Care Foundation grant?
Yeah, so, and I was chatting with a couple people over lunch here today, and it started last winter, and we as a board made the decision to go forward with this grant application. We weren't super confident in us receiving anything on it, and it was a heck of a process to get this application in. It was kind of all hands on deck when it came to providing our financials and full detailed plans and getting clearances from the city of Moose Jaw. And that was kind of the initial, and we heard back last fall that we had made it to the next stage. So we started to get a little bit more excited and think that it could actually happen. And then, obviously we got back to them with that information, and then Sunday, the news hit, and it was just incredible to be at that watch party with all the kids. We weren't sure how many were going to show up, but as you can see, we had a great turnout there.
For the people who might not be familiar, Bobby, with Gamble Diamond, what impact will this make in order to, when you're bringing in these lights on the facility, what difference does that make?
Well, when we look at the baseball infrastructure in Moose Jaw, this year with our numbers, it's very difficult to get all the games scheduled that we have teams for, right? So when we look into next year, it opens up that evening game, right? You could have a 5:30 start and a 7:30 start at Gamble Diamond, and that's kind of the premier location for all age groups 12 and under. So it opens that up. But even when you think of fall baseball, right, that's something that we haven't ever had the opportunity to do in Moose Jaw as far as the hardball is concerned, because we don't have the diamonds with the lights for the younger kids, right? So there's opportunities there, and I don't know. I just think growing up, when it came to playing in Moose Jaw, you dream about playing at Ross Wells under the lights there. And I was lucky enough to be able to do that in my teenage years. And, but now to be able to provide this for kids as young as, 7 years old to play under the lights, that really makes you feel like a big leaguer.
So expanded ball time and diamond time obviously are big pluses. So the big question then has to be, when can the lights go up?
Well, just before I hopped on the call, I was talking to the project manager that we had contracted, and we're scheduling a meeting for Wednesday to just kind of get things rolling. But we're hoping for the lights to be on for the 2027 season for sure.
Very cool.
So after the Jays win their World Series,
right on.
After the Jays run again.
Well, I'm going to caution you this one, and I probably shouldn't, because there never, when you're interviewing someone, should be a wrong answer, but there is a wrong answer. I'll caution you on this, but we can get to that in a moment. But you obviously love coaching ball, being around the kids. One Toronto Blue Jay, not named Vladimir Guerrero Jr., can come out to your practice. Who do you want it to be?
Ooh, putting you on the spot.
Is this current?
Yeah, it's current. Let's go this year's ball time and the ball this year's team, and then all time. I'll take two.
Okay. I take Trey Savage for this year.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting guy. And for me, all time, I was a Robbie Ellamar fan. Okay. But beggars can't be choosers. I can tell you that. Like we'd be happy with any Blue Jay,
except Davis Schneider. Him and I have a thing that go on. Just saying.
Okay.
Well, he's been sent down anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah, he's been sent down.
So when you look at this whole project in total, Bobby, I'm curious. I know there was some talk about maybe attracting some provincial, national tournaments. What does this open the doors to for Moose Jaw and Little League Baseball?
Well, a couple of years ago, North Regina hosted the Canadians for Little Leagues or for Little League, and I look at what Moose Jaw has at Bell Park over on East End there. We have 3 diamonds that are the right size for that major division and minor division, right? So I feel that it would give us, an upper hand when it comes to hosting an event like that. It is a lot of work, but I think we have the volunteers in our city and within our organization that can make something like that happen.
Can you speak to the volunteers and the parents and the coaches real quick and just how big of a role they played in getting this grant?
Well, when we look at the board members that we have, it is pretty incredible. There's, I think, 5 or 6 on our board right now whose kids have actually aged out of Little League baseball. There's one lady whose son is playing college ball in the States and playing for the Millers, right? Like, these are people whose kids aren't even in the league anymore, but who love it so much and care about it so much. And I think that's what sets us apart from other organizations. We have such a great group of board members and coaches that really care about the sport of baseball and making it accessible for all kids.
For young players who are listening right now, what message do you have for them about what this announcement means for their baseball future? I know, again, we're putting you on the spot. The Jays question was easier.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah, for sure. it was easier. But I think when it comes to, I grew up playing as many sports as my parents would sign me up for. I was playing football and baseball and curling, and I gave speed skating and hockey a shot, right? But I think when I look at baseball and the life skills and the friendships that can be gained through such a team and individual sport like baseball is, I think it really helps grow and develop amazing people. And I think the kids of Moose Jaw and the kids of Saskatchewan and across the country need a little bit of that summer outdoor air to bring everything home for them. I just love baseball so much, so I'm super biased. Come out and play.
I'll say it without you needing to say it. Get off your phones, pick up a bat, and get out to the ballpark.
Absolutely.
And I'll say it before either of you can. Dial before you dig. Just kidding.
Oh, Dave.
We'll make sure to do that before the lights go up.
Good call.
Oh, Moose Jaw Little League President Bobby Hill. I know you guys are also inviting everyone out to pack the park tomorrow night, so let's give a quick little plug for that at Gamble Diamond.
Yeah, for sure. We got the 2 Moose Jaw major AAA teams playing against each other. So the co-op has stepped up once again for Moose Jaw, so they're going to be donating, the hot dogs, and Depker Industries has stepped up for donating the drinks, and we just want everybody to come out and have a great time. Rod Heisler, who's kind of a Moose Jaw baseball and Canadian baseball great, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. He's going to be coming out to throw the opening pitch for us, so we're pretty excited about that.
Oh, that's going to be a lot of fun. So that's tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, Gamble Diamond. Make sure that you go and cheer on Gamble Diamond. Thank you so much for this, Bobby. Really appreciate the time.
Thank you. We really appreciate your time.
As always, of course, Moose Jaw Little League President Bobby Hill joining us here on the Sports Cage. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back on the other side. It's the Sports Cage on the home of local sports on 620 CKRM and streaming at sportscage.com.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Reliance Heath Water Heater Rentals. Rent a water heater and water softener starting at about $1.20 a day and get $400 when you switch to Reliance Heath.
Western Canadian Baseball League action tonight. The Regina Red Sox are off. However, the Swift Current 57s travel to Medicine Hat to take on the Mavericks at 7. Major League Baseball, you got Toronto Blue Jays in Philly taking on the Phillies. Patrick Corbin on the bump versus Sanchez. And I just saw Dylan Cease and Max Scherzer will be returning to the Blue Jays rotation this week. John Schneider announced that Cease will be starting tomorrow. Scherzer is set for Wednesday. The Los Angeles Kings have announced that they've also hired Peter Laviolette. SportsCage.com poll. Which CFL Week 1 winning team impressed you the most? You can go vote at sportscage.com. Right now, okay, so you have Montreal with 16% of the votes, Winnipeg with 20%. The remaining 64% goes to Edmonton. I tend to agree. Well, you can disagree with me. Go to sportscage.com. Let us know which Week 1 winning team impressed you the most in CFL Week 1 action. That was your sports ticker brought to you by Reliance Group of Companies. Also, we want you to pick the score, okay? 306-936-6262. Let us know what you think the final result of this Saturday night's game is going to be at Mosaic Stadium when the Saskatchewan Roughriders welcome in the BC Lions for a West Final rematch. And, of course, their home opener, their banner-raising game, their first regular season game of 2026. So what you need to do, text that into us, 306-936-6262. Send us what you think the final score will be. Now, the closest guest to the actual score will win $200 for SaskTel. So let us know what you think between the Lions and the Riders. Kick off at 5 o'clock this Saturday. You only have through, tomorrow? No, Wednesday. You have until Wednesday to text in, but just do it now.
Mark that down. Wednesday.
Let us know what you think. We are getting a couple of messages in here, Dave, on the Prairie Land Rentals text line, 306-936-6262. This one from Dean in Regina. Now, we were talking a little bit about the CFL earlier. I understand that they made the schedule before the season ended, but there's no way that the World Cup affected having the BC Lions with one of the CFL marquee players in Nathan Rourke in Saskatchewan to play the Grey Cup champions in Week 1. Instead, the CFL got classic Edmonton, Ottawa.
Sorry.
So, I mean, I would have loved to see the Lions and Riders in Week 1. I feel like that would have been a really good way to kick the season off.
I don't dispute you. Like, could you imagine?
Trevor Harris, Nathan Rourke.
What might be really cool, and again, I don't know how you'd ever, like I said, logistics and scheduling, toughest job ever.
Yeah, don't envy them.
But could you imagine if, say, you had the West Final and the East Final in week number 1, and then week 2 you do something else, and then week 3 you have the Grey Cup? Because, again, you're not going to have 2 home games back to back, right?
Right.
But just, I think it would be pretty cool.
I will say it's going to be nice to have still those 10 home games at Mosaic Stadium.
Yes.
I mean, one of them is not a home game, but it's a home game.
That's true, right?
It's a home game. Let me see here. Shifting over to a little bit of NHL talk. I can see, this comes from Kevin in Foam Lake at 306-936-6262. I can't see Draisaitl and McDavid not being consulted on Babcock. If they're okay with it, so am I.
See,
even if they were okay with it, I don't know if I would be. I'm also not an Oilers fan.
But, I think you make a good point. Like, you have to know that Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl will be consulted in this hiring.
They have to be.
But that's sometimes like the inmates running the asylum, though. You know what I mean? Like,
well, and how many more years does McDavid have in Edmonton?
Well, exactly.
Because for all we know, head coaches leave quicker than star players. Let's be realistic here.
Let's be honest. Let's just throw out if Edmonton wins a Stanley Cup next year.
Not happening.
Or the year after.
Not happening.
Does Connor McDavid stay?
No.
Regardless, he's gone?
I don't know. I feel like if maybe they were to win in the next 2 seasons, possibly, it's not about the money.
No, it's Stanley Cup or bust, I think.
Like, his trophy cabinet is so overfilled right now.
Well,
but not with the one trophy he wants.
There's 2 big ones missing right now. Stanley Cup and the gold medal.
Yep.
And that Olympic gold medal
will forever haunt Connor McDavid.
You think so?
I think so.
If you go back and watch the game in the overtime again, like, he really tried to make a move that only Connor McDavid can make, but Connor McDavid still isn't going to make it 100% of the time. It was a very risky move. And no, I'm not blaming the loss on Connor McDavid.
Oh, gosh, no.
I'm just saying that, I love the competitive flair. And again, if he doesn't see it happening at Edmonton right now, and again, when you look, like, I'm sorry, they made a trade for a goaltender that actually regressed the position. like that's tough to come back from.
That is. But for all we know, Edmonton could come back and just completely blow everybody else out of the water next season.
They could.
They could. Anything could happen.
Yeah. Again,
I think that they got to fix their goaltending. They got to fix their defense. Offense is not the problem.
where do you start? But that seems to be what the Oilers always address. Like, they'll sign another third line center. Well, okay, great. You got another third line center, but do you have anybody that can stop the puck when he loses the draw invariably in his own end?
What do we say? Defense wins championships?
I've heard that before.
Yeah, maybe a time or two.
Yeah.
You know, we do have to take a quick break here, though. Get to the news. On the other side of 4 o'clock, we have your Riders Coaches Show with head coach Corey Mace as we head into the team's first regular season game against BC. We also have your Clutch Performer coming up. We'll talk with Darian Durant on the other side of 5, talk a little week 1 CFL action, what's ahead for the Riders this weekend, and then your Red Sox report around 5:30 as well. Hang tight. It's the Sports Cage. It's on the home of local sports on 620 CKRM and streaming at sportscage.com. Welcome back to the Monday installment of the Sports Cage. I'm Tegan Whitco, joined by the voice of your Saskatchewan Roughriders, Mr. Dave Thomas. Curtis Gammon hanging out with us, keeping us on the air, 620 CKRM, on the stream as well, which you can find at sportscage.com, on our YouTube channel, or on our X account, Twitter account, whatever you want to call it. You can still find us there. Join in the conversation as well. You can do that on YouTube or text us. Prairie Land Rentals text line is 306-936-6262. Send us questions for any of the guests that we have coming on. We're going to have your Regina Red Sox report coming up after 5:30. Darian Durant coming up after 5 o'clock. We still have Crofty who's going to pop by, your Clutch Performer, and right away here we're going to get to the Riders Coaches Show. But of course, if you text us, it is the Prairie Land Rentals text line. From small power tools to skid steers, they probably have what you need. So deal directly with the owner at 600 Albert Street. Go hit them up. They got what you need. Okay, now let's do it. Rider Coaches Show.
It's time for the Sports Cage Riders Coaches Show. For Steelcraft Doors, made in Western Canada for Western Canada. Locations in Regina, Saskatoon, and Prince Albert, and servicing all of Saskatchewan.
The one and only head coach Corey Mace joining us now. How's that Grey Cup ring feeling?
I don't know. It just sits on the shelf.
Don't ask to wear it because we'll lose our broadcast license, okay, Tegan? Whatever you do.
I love it. How you guys doing?
We're good, man. Excited for the start of the regular season. I mean, week 1 bye's got to feel a little weird, but is that an advantage, Corey?
I think it can be. Whatever kind of mood you're in, you could find something, to argue for it or against it. For us, it is what it is. So you just kind of look for the advantages. It was good to see just some different situations, how teams would be playing some of the new rule changes and, getting an eye on just to be able to watch some football, even when you didn't have an opportunity to do it. So, take it for what it is, but everybody was itching to get back.
Team building? Do a little bit of that this week, or was that happening in the preseason?
Yeah, no, there was. I know a couple of guys went out with pokies and they threw some lines in the water. I think Yosh, Jamarcus Hardrick caught a big jack or something like that. So they were, man, they stick close together, man. That's what you love about these guys.
Weren't stealing lines from each other this time, like you and O'Day?
Hey, we got to clear this rumor up. That's all me.
Coach, you had a chance now to take a look at your roster, as this is the first time since the roster was solidified at the end of May, and it seems like forever ago. But when you look down at that sheet of paper and see those names, what do you see?
A lot of really good players, obviously, that everybody would be familiar with. And then some new guys that are going to be, they've been proven players within this league somewhere else or, in college or in another league that are going to have some opportunities. Even looking at our practice roster, some really good players, man. So, we feel really good about our depth again this year. But ultimately, it's all good to look on paper, man. We gotta see that we can take action when we need to take action.
So does this roster pick up where it left off, or does it come down to the foundation and then you start building again?
Yeah, I think the foundation is set, with the returning vets that we have, all those expectations. I think, even leaving after the 25 season, that's our new floor. So that's, I don't think, any kind of an issue. It's just, finding the new guys and how, they make it better and how we try to find our ceiling.
Looking back at the off-season training camp, do you feel that this team is further ahead than it was at this point last year, or are we kind of on par?
Yeah, I think so. Just with the continuity that you have of the people that are coming back, and a lot of the communicating positions, you can get a little bit further ahead as far as, a playbook and things like that, because they already know they've digested the majority of it already. So a little bit of a refresher. But overall, it's just, as coaches and as veterans as well, how fast can we bring the new elements along? This group of rookies, or new guys, I should say, very intelligent players, and that's obviously half the battle. So to be seen, like I said, we'll see what that looks like coming up here on game day. But I think we're more than happy with where we're at.
What is the mood of the team right now? Anxious to get going, cerebral like they kind of have been, and dissecting everything that they can around them and absorbing as much as they can? What's the best way to describe it?
I think, if you polled everybody, they probably would have wanted to play last week, So I think just getting everybody back, and not even everybody back. I think it was a small group of guys that actually left during the bye week. A lot of guys stayed around here at the facility. So just, getting in team environments and, getting out of practice and stuff like that. That's what the guys are looking forward to, and walk into a good test for us.
2014, the home opener, is a game that I won't soon forget, when they raised the flag at Old Mosaic Stadium. There's going to be a new banner that goes up here on Saturday night. I know that it's kind of been a focal point for you when you start practices every day going in. What is that moment going to be like?
I think it's going to be really cool for everybody, our fan base, just, take a second, for, I don't know, a lot of us, it's just, I think, our mind might be somewhere else kind of at that point of the day. It's just cool that it's going to be there forever, So, like you said, I take time to look up there every day. So I've seen it for a while, and in years past. So, yeah, man, we're going to be pretty dialed on just kicking that ball off, I think.
So what's the biggest challenge coming in as the defending Grey Cup champions?
I think maybe just the mental component of not expecting to be handed anything. It's not our mentality anyway, but, over and over again, we talk about, our next game isn't to defend the championship. We got to earn the right to get back there. So we're no different than any other team. How we play and how we identify as a team has to be put on display every week. Now these guys aren't shy about that, and to be able to go do that, the hard work, the dirty work in dark areas, that's just who we are. So they're up for the challenge.
Week 1 is in the books, and two things stood out for me that I know that you had been talking about. First of all was the 35-second play clock. Did you see anything that surprised you there in game management that you were able to take away?
No, there's a couple things that looked at it. I thought more truthfully the kicking game was the number one thing that kind of reared its head throughout week 1, and just some decision making, from return teams and or kicking teams. The 35-second play clock, I think, preseason was really good with that as far as getting people adjusted. But, and for the refs as well, there's some certain situations in games where they got to, they got to be on top of it as far as, going from after a convert and to the rolling into the next kickoff, and communication with the coaches and all that stuff. So it's going to be a little bit of trial and error, I think, for the first little bit. But I thought, preseason was pretty good for that. And I thought fairly executed throughout week 1.
I know Tegan wants to ask about special teams. Before she does, though, I want to get your feelings on the bench, because the benches are on opposite sides, but we've been told by officials that there is going to be a lot of emphasis put on where coaches stand on the sidelines. We saw 2 objectionable conduct penalties called in week number 1. What is the directive? What is the standard that they're hoping to achieve?
Yeah, I think twofold. Keeping your team inside each of the 40s is kind of the border for you, and then really backing up off of the sideline just for safety of the refs and safety for the players on the sideline. So nobody should be getting outside of those 40s, other than the head coaches. We're allowed to shake and move a little bit, but we were hard on it throughout training camp and throughout the preseason. But game gets heated, man. People get animated, but that's part of the game now. If it's an opportunity to hurt your team, it's important. So we got to make sure we abide by the rules.
And Dave pointed it out a little bit there, Coach. There was a significant amount of turnover on your special teams this offseason. So how are you liking what Kent Majuri has put together and how your special teams are looking heading into week 2?
Yeah, Kent and Stu's here, really good coaches, detail-oriented. We feel really, really good about our specialists, kind of up and down for us last year. We went in with heavy competition in training camp. Really at all 3 specialist spots, and truthfully with the returners as well. And we think we got good depth there. Obviously, Lech will be our guy, and been experienced. Aaron Crawford's been one of the best snappers in the league in his time. And then, Oscar and Hale have had, really good careers up until this point. But like anybody else, we got to prove it. We got to prove it every week, whether that's a game and or practice. So what a place, though, if you're a specialist to get practice, with winds gusting and like crazy, you're learning in the elements ASAP.
Coach, does the return game change now, or philosophies of it, with the change to the Rouge, knowing that the football can come out to the 40-yard line regardless?
Yeah, it can. I think it just situation kind of dictates that sometimes. And game flow of how things are going. There's a couple things that go into those kind of decisions, but certainly now I think in what you saw in week 1 is, each team kind of had their philosophies, and I thought some were excellent decisions, and some, teams might be like, not kicking themselves, but just makes you think about, okay, if we have to do this again, what are we thinking? So, yeah, man, that's just part of it. Just like any new rule changes to any league, there's going to be some trial and error and some things, but you hope to get your answer sooner than later.
Defensive line, I get asked about it all the time. So building chemistry with a new look front 4, is there any way to do that aside from getting game reps, or can that be found in practice and meetings?
Yeah, 100% could be found in practice and meetings. It's it kind of plays well, I think, into what we preach around here and spending time with each other. Not only to know the person, but as a defensive lineman, it's disruption caused by somebody people rushing together. Sometimes you got one really good pass rusher. Well, they're going to get most of the attention, so it's going to open it up for the other 3. For us, we're always preaching pass rush as a group, and this team's done a good job. These guys have done a good job getting to know each other, how they like to rush and rush off each other. I thought in the early parts of the preseason and in our practices. So. We got some guys, man, that we're pretty dang excited about. You guys are getting tired of it. We got to prove it.
Well, there's a new most popular person and or thing in Saskatchewan. That'll be the person handing out free brisket at the tailgate zone prior to the game. Right behind that, of course, is going to be the quarterback situation behind Trevor Harris. Trevor was so complimentary of what Jack Cohn and Shager and as Tommy Stevens were able to put out on the field and on tape during training camp. You've kept all 4. What does that say about that competition and what it means moving forward?
Yeah, I thought, regardless of who you are and, you're watching the games, you saw things that you liked from everybody. There's no question about who our leader is in that room. But after that, there's still competition to be had. But all 4 of those guys deserve the right to be here, man. They did some really, really good things for us. And they're all a little bit different, as we've discussed before, but both have shown that they could, as far as Jack and Shags, they've both shown to be able to not only handle what it is that our offense needs to be done as far as playbook, and Shags is different in the sense that he can create and he's got a cannon, you know what I mean? So being able to develop these guys a little bit longer and, still get the tutelage from Trev, man, that's priceless.
Not to look in the rearview mirror too much here, but the last time the BC Lions were at Mosaic Stadium, it was in the West Final. We all know how that ended up. How do you control that emotion from your players? What do you expect to see from them on Saturday?
It's our first game of the year. I know maybe being in a position kind of similar maybe for than BC was last year going in for us in 25. You earmark some things that you're like, hey, you want get back or just to prove that you can, and certainly that's motivators in football. We're self-motivated though. So are they a really good team? Yeah, they're a really good team. We believe we're a really good team. So we're focused on us and making sure that we're doing the things we're supposed to do, and the standards that we hold ourselves to is higher than anybody that that follows this team. I can assure you that. So these guys they're self-motivated from that standpoint, and that's the focus is us.
Coach Mace, you mentioned last year, and I guess going back to 24, 1-0 every week. That is the focus. But the last 2 years, you've been able to go 1-0 in week number 1 and set a tone, if you will. Am I reading too much into the importance of game 1 of 18?
You can. I mean, you look at 24 and 25, really 2 different seasons, right? Both kind of hot starts, and 1 and 24, we fell into a lull, but it was good. We got off to a good start. And then in last year, got off to a good start, and a couple times we stumbled back to back, but we were able to pick ourselves back up just because we knew, the importance of staying on top of our P's and Q's, so to speak. So, yes, the adage is finish strong. People always say that. We talked about that. You got to start fast. You got to do the middle part good, and you got to finish strong. So, we treat every game with the utmost importance.
I know you don't want to look back, but it is going to be a celebration on Saturday at Mosaic Stadium. And again, there's still some great seats available. You can get those watermelon packs where you get tickets for Labor Day as well. What's this opportunity mean to do this ceremony that's only happened 4 other times in the history of the Saskatchewan Roughriders? What does that mean to the team to be able to do that in front of Rider Nation?
Well, I think the importance of what Rider Nation is, what our fan base means to this club. These guys know that. We talk about it all the time. So what an experience, and our fans deserve that. And I hope that they're out there roaring, man. I want to hear about this tailgating too. I hope it's awesome. But like I said, with all due respect to our fan base, I think they would love us later knowing that we're done celebrating. But this is for them. We got work to do.
I know Luke Mullender has already put some requests out for the food he'd like to see at the tailgate. Surprise, surprise. And I'll be right behind him. No surprise. If we want to get Coach Mace to our tailgate spot, what should we have?
Yeah, I think you nailed it, man. Brisket, some kind of dogs for sure. I'd like to see like a wild game, something odd, just a big old grill with some wild game out there, But I don't know if I'm allowed to say as long as the beers are flowing, people are talking riders, we're playing games, we're enjoying, we're tossing the football with, family members and friends. That's the coolest thing that I'm excited about. I've always thought this is the number one place where tailgating should be involved. It reminds me a lot of Buffalo, and I can assure you those tailgates are they start 2 days in advance. You know what I mean? So this is. I can't wait for generations and generations of stories being shared with family and friends at Rider football games.
If you had to pick a coach that might sneak out and test and maybe sample, you want to call one out?
Other than myself, I don't know. Micah Johnson likes to eat, man. He does. He eats healthy sometimes, but this coaching life, I think we're going to transform his body. I think. He might sneak out.
Well, we'll save you two some pills and some brisket. That's for sure.
Yes.
Well, best of luck on Saturday, and we'll talk to you, I'm sure, after the game. Thank you very much for this, Coach. We'll talk soon. That was your Riders Coaches Show. Brought to you by Stillcraft Doors, made in Western Canada for Western Canada. Locations in Regina, Saskatoon, and Prince Albert, and servicing all of Saskatchewan. Of course, head coach Corey Mace was joining us on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. We appreciate his time, as always. Grab yourself some Western Pizza tonight. I know we don't have brisket, but Western Pizza has delicious food, so that makes a whole lot of sense. Perfect pizza, generous amount of toppings, all the Greek favorites you love.
Lasagna.
Ooh.
Lasagna's good.
Actually, Dane, my fiance, is texting me about dinner, so we should probably take a break so I can get back to him.
Fair.
Coming up, still, clutch performer Darian Durant is also going to pop by after 5 o'clock, and your Red Sox report, so hang tight. It's a Sports Cage. It's on the home of Rider Nation, 620 CKRM, and streaming at sportscage.com.
The Sports Cage Clutch Performer for Keln Solar. Thinking about saving money by using solar power? Keln Solar is a local family company that can put solar panels on your home, business, or farm. KelnSolar.com.
Unclutch people who don't save recipes when they need to.
Way to go, Dane.
Yeah.
Tegan's fiance.
Meal plan for this entire supper tonight. Asked him, do I save the recipe? No, I'm fine. I got it. Now we don't know how to make it. So it's going to be a fun night at my house after work. Anyway, let's get to the real clutch performers, unclutch performers, whatever we got today. It's brought to you by Keln Solar. So the first one I would like to bring up, I feel like it just wouldn't be this segment if we didn't bring up the iconic Sasky boy, Braden McNabb, rocking his bird cage right after taking, how many kilometers an hour was that? 87 mile per hour slap shot to the face in game 2. So 48 hours after taking that slap shot to the face, he goes out and gets the second most amount of ice time among all skaters in that game. Not even just for Vegas. Period. Yeah. Second most time on the ice. That is absolutely insane. Not only that, he also absolutely rocked Taylor Hall on that hit. Oh, if you're watching the stream.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
What a warrior. You can tell that he was struggling too because he couldn't breathe out of his nose. How do you skate that hard and not be able to breathe out? Like you're mouth breathing all night. He's an OG.
Yeah.
OG. He also said at one point, I don't know if you have the clip here or not, Curtis, but he was talking about how many stitches he had to get after taking that puck to the face.
I mean, at one point when it happened, when I was at the hospital, yeah, there was some doubt for sure. But waking up, felt okay, and then I knew I would have a chance. So.
Is that one of the scary moments of your career, your hockey career?
Yeah, it was not ideal for sure. But it's part of hockey. It's the way it goes sometimes, and it's unfortunate, but I was able to get through it.
No, you don't disclose injuries in the playoffs, but can you give us a rough number of stitches?
Yeah, probably mid-20s, maybe 30, yeah. Not sure.
Can you talk about that ovation for you when the starting lineups were announced?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Our fans are awesome. They got our back, so very cool. Very cool.
Watching his introduction, that place absolutely erupted.
Oh, of course. Absolutely. Like, that's wild. I was so fearful when I saw it. I thought broken nose, orbital bones. Like, I thought all kinds of bad. And who knows, maybe there is a broken nose in there. Probably other things too, right? Like, it's just, wow.
Man, if you're watching the stream, it makes my skin crawl every time I see it.
Well, and I was hoping that it hit the visor.
It did not.
No, it did not.
I think it bumped it up a little bit. But yeah, you could tell as soon as that made contact with his face. Holy smokes.
That's got to be an all kind of...
I'd be scared to take a slap shot to my body blocking, let alone my face.
No, I agree with you.
That is absolutely ridiculous. But staying in the same vein, I am also going to shout out another Vegas Golden Knights player. I know Toronto fans are going to hate me for this, but Mitch Marner. You have to give Mitch Marner his flowers, right? I mean, hat trick, 6 minutes, 6 minutes, 10 seconds. That was absolutely impressive. I think he's probably, was that the fastest hat trick in Stanley Cup final history?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, you have to give him a clutch performer just for that alone. Now, granted, the Canes made it a game, 3 goals in 39 seconds, ended up going to double overtime. You have Shea Theodore getting that overtime winner. That was one of the best Stanley Cup final games I think I've ever seen.
You know, the one thing that Maple Leaf fans are asking, and I think it's a very valid question, why now? How has Mitch found his groove in the playoffs now? Is it the coaching?
Change of scenery?
The culture?
Torts maybe does that to people.
Well, you got to give John Torts, again, I may not agree with all of his methodology, but you got to give him credit because he gets the best out of his players. But what changed for Mitch Marner?
Not being in Toronto?
Well, maybe.
It might be that simple.
The right mix of lines? Is it that he doesn't, again,
less pressure?
You don't have a guy like Austin Matthews
nipping at your heels?
But again, you'd think that you'd have less pressure if you got a guy like Austin Matthews and Nylander, and the list goes on.
Everyone likes to say that there's more pressure in Toronto, though, in terms of the media, right? And I don't know because I haven't seen how the media behave. I mean, we have all seen the clips and stuff on Twitter and Instagram or whatever, and it does seem a little bit more aggressive than other markets, but I feel like it would be the same in a lot of other diehard hockey markets. You can't tell me the other original 6 teams don't see this. I'm sure it's the same in Boston. I'm sure it's the same in Detroit. You know, there's got to be a lot of similar markets. I don't know if that's necessarily the excuse. But again, a change of scenery can do a lot for a player.
True.
But that was a fun game. That was a very fun game. Natural hat trick for Marner. You got to give him some credit for that one. Like him, hate him, otherwise, Vegas is working for him. So I like it. That's another clutch performer.
Well, speaking of new faces and new places, my clutch performer only registered 2 defensive tackles in his first game with his new team, but we learned and understood what he could do with the Saskatchewan Roughriders last year. And I may question mark the stats a little bit. If you look at Pro Football Focus, had a tremendous game. I thought that he had at least 2 tackles for loss and maybe a half a sack, but Malik Carney. Yeah, you know, he's playing with Edmonton now, but we saw what he can do in Saskatchewan, and he was an absolute terror in their game.
He's such a good football player.
Absolutely, right? And just seeing what he did against Ottawa, when it kind of counted the most, that was where I thought that Malik Carney really shined. So Malik gets my clutch performer for week number 1 in the CFL.
That tracks. I like that.
Thank you.
That's a really good clutch performer. Go Malik. And that was when they did the motorcycle?
Yes.
Whenever? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to miss that at Mosaic Stadium.
Oh, they've got some other dandies cooked up.
Oh, do they?
I'm pretty sure.
Don't let the cat out of the bag. I want to see on Saturday.
You will see on Saturday.
We did also get a text from Luke from Regina, Prairie Land Rentals text line 306-936-6262. Not to divert, but just to quickly go back to McNabb. Luke is saying, I would probably be wearing a cage for the rest of my career.
You know what? Once I wish who was it that wrote it? It was a writer from Toronto of all things, right? And it was just part of equipment in hockey and how it's changed and whatever. And if you think about it, hockey is the only sport that as you progress in advancing levels, you actually take more equipment off. Think about it, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like you start with a full cage, full bubble, right? And then you all of a sudden can get to a half shield, and it's like that makes a lot of sense that I never really thought about.
No, that makes and a lot more fake teeth as you go deeper into your career as well.
Yeah, absolutely, right? And it doesn't make sense, right? And like I've read the why that you shouldn't wear, and they don't want them to wear cages so that they can see their faces and blah 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 blah. But you look at lacrosse,
safety thing.
You look at football, you look at other sports, right? And they are covering up their faces. But again, I just thought it was unique that the better your advancement, the less equipment you wear.
But I do tend to agree with Luke. Wear a cage, McNabb. Just keep the bird cage on.
Yeah.
Don't want to see that. Also, don't agree with a ton of everything Jeffrey says, but he is on the Prairie Land Rentals YouTube chat right now. And he did say not Justin Rankin for a clutch performer. I do actually, you know what? We probably missed that one.
We gave him his flowers at the start.
We did give him his flowers at the start, but he does also deserve a clutch performer. I will say that much. He had an incredible week 1 showing. So there we go. We were called out and we corrected it. So thank you for that. You can join in the conversation at any point too. If you agree with us, disagree with us, either way, join in the conversation. 306-936-6262 on the Prairie Land Rentals text line. If you're watching the YouTube feed, you're going to see some of the highlights from Rankin over the weekend. Yeah, he was dangerous in that game against Ottawa. So love to see it. I love to see it, despite the unfortunate weather.
Well, I won't soon forget the game in 2024. Elks came here for the first time, right? And the Riders had handled Edmonton in week number 1 in 2024, right? They scored that great touchdown pass late in the football game to really secure it. And then Justin Rankin came to Mosaic Stadium and put on a show. Whether he was returning, whether he was running, whether he was catching, he was doing it all. And Javon Leake is no slouch, but like Javon Leake is an amazing back.
Oh, yeah.
And probably starts on a lot of teams in this league. But like he's behind Rankin now, and so he's kind of been relegated. And I don't want to say relegated. That sounds terrible. But his primary focus is now doing kick returns, just because Justin Rankin has taken over that top running back spot.
Well, and I mean, undisputed right now. But the season is young. You know, as it's been pointed out, we're only heading into week 2 here. So anything can happen.
That's right. However, one of our SportsCage insiders, did you see the latest power rankings? So
I forgot to contribute. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. But the Saskatchewan Roughriders remain number 1, Montreal 2, BC 3. However, one of our analysts ranked the Riders 7th.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
That's an interesting choice. It's hard to determine that without seeing them play yet.
I know. So I was kind of curious if maybe you just kind of slotted the other teams above maybe for that, but I thought it was interesting.
Was it a typo?
I don't know.
They meant the Ottawa Space Rough Riders.
Ottawa, yeah.
Rough Riders, yeah.
Yeah, the Ottawa Rough Riders. You know what? I don't disagree with these power rankings. And I mean, anybody can dispute it if they want to. Text us 306-936-6262. But yeah, Riders, Als, Lions, Bombers, Elk.
Took a jump.
Yeah, I don't know if I like the Bombers that high up. The Elk did kind of impress. Better than I thought.
Yeah.
The Stamps at 6th, Ticats at 7th, Argos at 8th, and then Red Blacks at 9th. Argos should probably be in 9th.
I'm really curious to see what Toronto's going to put on the field this weekend. And
it could be interesting. Chad Kelly being back may completely change the dynamic of that team.
the challenge that the Toronto Argonauts are faced with is they're not in their own facility. They are on the road for the first month and a half of the season.
They lose out on 2 home games.
Mm-hmm. And that's when they're going to be, again, you're not in your space, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders love being in Saskatoon. Love it. But boy, I tell you, when those players got back to Mosaic Stadium and saw the team facilities and all the amenities that they were afforded by being a member of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, eyes got real big real quick. And when you don't have that because you're basically nomadic, right? Because you're moving around, that's tough.
I mean, we'll see what happens this week. There's a whole lot of games to watch. And the Argos do worry me a little bit, but they could completely prove everybody wrong this year. It could easily happen, especially with that quarterback position now. QB1 is back. We haven't seen him. When was the last time Chad Kelly played? It would have been definitely not last season.
Not here. It would have been 24 in the East
24
Final.
East Final. Yeah, so he's been, but I'm sure he's been keeping up to speed on everything. That's the part that worries me about the Argos.
Yeah, apparently, again, speaking with some of the people that I talked about, they, when it comes to Toronto, they see it going one of 2 ways. Either really good or not so good at all is kind of the feeling. And from what I've heard about Chad Kelly around the Argos facility is that he is a much more mature human being than he was last year. His life off the field has changed substantially. And he is ready just to go out and do his thing and not care about what anybody else is saying, which might be best for Chad Kelly.
Well, and again, going back to the conversation we were having about the Toronto Maple Leafs and why Marner has maybe seen some success in Vegas is just being away from all of the media noise, all of the peripheral things that can happen off of the field or off of the ice in Marner's case. So I'm interested to see if he has turned a new leaf, what this is going to look like. I think the Argos are going to be fun to watch this year.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. I should also mention, looking back just a smidge, our SportsCage.com poll. Which CFL Week 1 winning team impressed you the most? Let me refresh this.
I haven't voted.
You haven't voted yet?
No.
It's either Montreal. Oh, it won't let me vote again. It doesn't let you cheat. Montreal, Winnipeg, Edmonton.
Who should I vote? And then I'll make the vote. Montreal, Winnipeg, or Edmonton. Edmonton, I thought looked good. Cody Fajardo was
Edmonton, yeah.
Edmonton?
Yeah.
Over Winnipeg?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Well, Winnipeg's been so good for so long. So I think it's more surprising how well the Elk had played.
Okay.
And yes, I'm saying Elk because I refuse to pluralize it because that's not proper English. That's
so
one
Edmonton is currently leading the way.
Yes,
thanks to your
by,
vote.
okay.
60%.
Okay, 60%. Winnipeg by 21%, 18 for Montreal.
I'm surprised. I didn't know that Montreal would garner that much support. As far as being an impressive victory, right? Like,
yeah.
I think everybody thought Montreal would be good. You know what I mean?
Well, when you look at last season. But again, this is a new year. We're not looking backwards. We're looking forwards. I did forget one clutch performer, by the way, for Kellen Solar.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of the Toronto fan base, it was this one particular fan who showed up at the Vegas Golden Knights game. And he had a hand-drawn sign. He was full Toronto Maple Leafs gear. And he's holding up this sign that says, "My therapist recommended this trip." I really hope, there's definitely a Marner on the back of his jersey. His friend looks so disappointed. But you got to experience a Stanley Cup hat trick, the quickest one in history, and it was by, a former player for the team that you cheer for. So
that still hurts in every way.
Yeah. I don't feel bad, though.
Nope.
Okay, Clutch Performer brought to you by Kellen Solar. They can help with your livestock operations. Book now for your solar quotes, for your home, farm, or cabin, for your harm. Save money with the local company, Kellen Solar in Lumsden. We'll take a quick break here in a moment because I know we're going to get Crofty on the line here in just a bit, and we're going to do your sprinkle of the day. We can't forget about that, but I do also want to mention Saskatchewan Rough Rider Foundation 50/50. So you have until 10 o'clock tomorrow night to grab yours. Lots of exclusive getaways and experiences up for grabs, sports trips, vacation destinations. There's an early bird prize to be won before every single rider game. So a variety of different ticket packages that you can buy. You can do the ones where you have basically a subscription. You don't need to worry about it. That's probably the easiest way to do it if you're going to buy every week anyway. Buy your tickets online. Riders5050.ca. Current early bird prize up for grabs. This one sounds like a lot of fun. I don't know. Curtis here, our producer, he is from Alberta, so he's kind of convinced me that I would probably take the trip over the cash. But it's 3 nights at the Malcolm Hotel in Canmore, an Icefield adventure, and a ride on a Banff gondola. Sounds like a nice little getaway. You can also take the money instead, $3,600, which can definitely go a long way. Deadline tomorrow night, 10 p.m., riders5050.ca. So grab those tickets. Again, still to come, your sprinkle of the day. We're going to catch up with Crofty on the other side of 5 o'clock. We got your Regina Red Sox report. We also have Mr. Darian Durant, who's going to be joining us, dissecting week number 1 and looking forward into week number 2 for your Saskatchewan Roughriders. So make sure that you hang tight, okay? It's the Sports Cage on the home of local sports, 620 CKRM, and streaming at sportscage.com. Welcome back to the Sports Cage. Sorry, I was distracted by all of these text messages coming in, trying to keep up, okay? You can join in the conversation if you'd like as well. 306-936-6262 on the Prairie Land Rentals text line. We'll get to some of those in just a little bit here. I'm thinking in the meantime, we should probably head out on the Western Pizza guest hotline and catch up with our boy Crofty. Dan Croft, Croft Electric. How you doing, man?
I'm great. Happy Monday to you two. How's it going down there?
You know what? Sun is shining. I can't complain. CFL season is back.
Oh, excited. I was listening to your tailgate talk. We're very excited. We have a tailgate spot, so we're gonna. Well, actually, we can just talk about that. We're gonna do a little Croft Electric tailgate. So we're gonna have one of our vans there, set up with some refreshments and some food. So yeah, we're gonna say to any any Croft Electric customer that wants to come down, bring us an invoice that you've paid on your phone or whatever, and we'll give you a beer and a hot dog.
Okay, so what time does tailgating start? Because I know kickoff is 5 o'clock, right? So that would be, 2, 3 o'clock?
Noon.
Yeah, well, they say we can come up to 4 hours in advance, I think. And here's the thing. I was listening to Coach talk there about the food, and we're excited to try some of this stuff. But this one we're calling a practice run because we're really unsure on how it's all going to work. We've read some of the rules and all that kind of stuff, but, we don't know exactly where we're going to be and how we're going to be set up. So we don't want to go too crazy with a bunch of stuff that we, not sure of yet. So, so we're just going to have some hot dogs and that kind of thing this time.
I have heard Barney and Sharky talking about you inviting them to your tailgate spot, but Dave and I have not received an invitation yet.
Well, that's because we didn't talk last Monday. You guys are done. I'd love to see you guys down there.
We might be a little tied up.
You notice Dan Croft didn't give us the location, though, right? Hey, we'd love to see you. Good luck.
And that's
You'll find us.
One of the things. That's one of the things I was talking about because it's first come first serve, right? So you kind of get in line. I'm assuming I've read kind of some of the stuff. So you get in line, you'll find your spot. But I don't think we're going to be in the exact same spot every time. At least that's my understanding. So look for a big Croft Electric van, and then we got a little bit of a 4 little tent set up. So you'll be able to find us. Blue and orange. It'll be big and bright. And I might have secured a CKRM flag that I might put up too. So we'll have you guys on the radio. So don't you worry, because we got to have countdown to kickoff on because we sponsor that. So.
I mean, that's a great little plug. I love that he did that for me.
And you see, and Dan leads us right into it, right? Nobody likes waiting in line.
No.
And when you've got an opportunity to become a priority customer, and again, you get all the benefits you would if you're a customer of Croft Electric anyways, right? You're going to get professionalism, the guys that come out and do it the first time right. And then if you go ahead and you become one of those great customers where you just sign up, you can get all the great insights and get some help when you need it most, right?
100%. That's great points. We want everybody to, sign up for that preferred customer program. It also gets you into our loyalty club. And then, you get priority booking, and it pretty much pays for itself because you're going to get a discounted labor rate and you're going to get 10% off all materials. So it's kind of one of those win-win-win scenarios.
And you don't just do residential, right?
No, that's right.
It's also commercial, farm, pretty much anything that you need.
For sure. We don't like giving up pieces of our trade, so we have experts. There's 36 employees over here, so we have experts in everything. We've got Cody that's great with knob and tube wiring, and some of those houses downtown Regina. We got some people that are great on the farm, and then we have lots of commercial experts as well. So we really have you covered.
And of course, with the expertise and the experience that's been passed on, you guys know what you're doing.
We do, and like I've said, before, we the guy that comes out, he may need to call back to the office to get something weird happens that he's never seen before, but that's what the rest of us are here for, to make sure that they have the backing. They're not one-man shows out there trying to fix a problem they've never seen. We have all kinds of experience behind them to make sure that they succeed, as well as our customers, clients, and friends thrive in whatever it is, whether it's at their cabin, their farm, their business, or especially their home.
There you go. Something that we've never seen before, also known as Dave Tried It.
All right, Crofty, follow you on socials. You guys do a great job on there. I love your Tip Tuesdays, but how else do we get in touch if we need to book you?
Check out our website, www.croftelectric.com. We're working on getting a spot right there to join our preferred club, but there is a contact page there, so you can email us. But definitely the best way to get a hold of us during regular business hours is 306-586-1333.
Crofty, we appreciate your time as always. And if I don't make it down to your tailgating zone, make sure that you save me a dog, okay?
I will. And hopefully at some point this season we see both of you down there.
We will do our best. No promises. We're kind of on the air, right?
Yeah, I know. We can do the show from the tailgate.
Oh, there we go.
I'll have my people talk to your people.
I can already hear Luke yelling.
That could be dangerous.
I love it.
Dan Croft, Croft Electric, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Of course, Dan joins us every Monday on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. We appreciate his time as always. And you know what? I think now, should we sprinkle?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think we should maybe sprinkle. Sprinkle of the day. is brought to you by Sports Select. Getting in on the sports action, very easy. Just go to the website, sportselect.com. Make your picks, generate your QR code, and lock it in at your local Lotto Spot retailer, like a co-op or something like that. You can see the signs out front. So you can also go old school, fill it out on the slips in store. Every bet, 100% legal. Chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select, when you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus, and you got to play responsibly. Okay, so I don't know if I really want to sprinkle on that Phillies-Jays game, but it's, because I'm looking at the over-under on that one, and I'm looking at the odds. Not my favorite. Let's look at futures. Yeah. How much has the needle moved on the Knights in 6 in the Stanley Cup
I remember
playoffs?
that was out there for a while,
Because
right?
what was it last week? Because that's what I said I was going to sprinkle on. Did I end up doing that? No.
Knights in 6?
Yeah. So that is...
That's the best odds, 3.5. Yeah.
Yeah, so I should have sprinkled last week. I probably would have had a better return. But that's okay. That's okay.
Carolina not getting much love unless they win in 7.
Yeah,
Which they have to do, right?
385 on that one. Vegas in 5, which isn't going to happen. 425.
Yeah.
I would still take Knights in 6.
I don't think you're wrong.
I would kick myself, though, because I should have done it last week when the odds were better. I feel like it was 425 last week.
Procrastination.
I know. And this is why Barty is so much better at this than me.
He lacks fear.
Yeah, I know. He just goes all for it. You know what? Maybe let's see what some of the props are. Do we have any props on the Stanley Cup final? Like, what are Marner's point totals, if there are any? I don't know if there are. You can look at futures on sportselect.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can also, maybe you want to sprinkle a little something on Spurs and Knicks. I know I put, a little sprinkle on the Knicks to win it outright way back when. Yep. First round.
Wow. That'll be impressive.
I can't remember what that would have paid out, but it was a decent return. Oh, I'm not going to find it now. I lost my slip.
Well, the best part is, because it's online, you don't have to worry about it because Sports Select has got you covered.
Yes.
Go to their website.
There's no props currently for that Hurricanes Vegas game, but they do have the lines out here.
Yeah, they do have the pro line here. So 225, Carolina. Tie, 355. Point spread, 0.5 point.
You know what? It's funny. The tie is that they've been 1-goal games all series, right?
Yeah,
so,
it's been close. It's been tight. Well, and I don't know if I can handle double OT again.
I know I won't. I'll be changing the channel. Yeah.
I was way too late. By the end of it, oh man, I just wanted to go to sleep. Anyway, over, under 5.5. So if you want to maybe put on a little sprinkle, feel free to do that. Oh geez, we're almost at the end of the hour here. We got to get Darian Durant on the phone soon. So let's take a quick break. Let's get Darian ready to go for double talk with doubles. We'll also have your Red Sox report coming up on the other side of 5 o'clock. First, your news, so hang tight. It's the Sports Cage. It's on the home of local sports on 620 CKRM and streaming at sportscage.com.
It's time for the Sports Ticker. Brought to you by Extreme Hockey and Sport is the home of the price match guarantee. 1425 McIntyre Street, the Cooperator Center, Moose Jaw Temple Garden Center, and online at extremehockey.net.
Yeah, remember how I said we were going to go to the news and then Darian Durant? I forgot we had the sports ticker. So Western Canadian Baseball League action tonight. Swift Current 57s taking on the Medicine Hat Mavericks at 7. You also got Major League Baseball action. The Jays in Philly to take on the Phillies. Patrick Corbin on the bump tonight for the Jays and Sanchez on the mound for the Phillies. Dylan Cease and Max Scherzer will be returning to the Blue Jays rotation this week as per John Schneider. He announced that earlier today. Cease will start tomorrow. Scherzer set for Wednesday. Peter Laviolette has been hired by the Los Angeles Kings, by the way. And then also, SportsCage.com poll, which CFL Week 1 winning team impressed you the most? You can let us know by voting at SportsCage.com. Hang tight. Now we're going to go to news, and we'll be back with Darian on the other side. It's the Sports Cage on 620 CKRM and streaming at sportscage.com. Well, thank you for taking the time on this Monday installment of the Sports Cage. I'm Tegan Whitco with Dave Thomas, voice of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Of course, Curtis Gammon, he's hanging out here with us, keeping us on the air at 620 CKRM and on the stream, sportscage.com, our YouTube channel, X as well. And all of our guests this afternoon have been joining us on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. Perfect pizza, generous amount of toppings, and all the Greek favorites you love. You can feel free to text us at any point as well. Prairie Land Rentals text line 306-936-6262. Quickly, before we get to Darian here on the hotline, we did get a text here from Paul in Regina. Dave, specifically asking you.
Oh, no.
Did we ever ask Tommy about his nickname and what was his response? I don't think we ever revisited this because I know I said the Tank, but that's his brother, right?
Yes. He likes Stone Cold.
Yes.
Because they play the Stone Cold theme when he comes off the field after achieving a first down. However, there was some serious consideration given to Tommy Torque, if I do say so myself.
Not to brag or anything.
Yeah,
so we haven't landed on one.
No, I think it's Stone Cold.
It is Stone Cold?
I think it's pretty much Stone Cold. I think that's pretty much signed, sealed, delivered.
Okay.
And yes, I was the only one that was giving Torque serious consideration.
So Stone Cold Stevens?
Yeah, sure.
Stone Cold Tommy Stevens?
Yeah.
It's just a mouthful. I like Stone Cold Stevens.
Okay.
Or Stone Cold Tommy. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll work out the kinks. We'll work out the details. Maybe our next guest can help us. It's time for Double Talk with Darian Durant.
It's time for Double Talk with Saskatchewan Roughrider legend Darian Durant. Double Talk is brought to you by Dutch Agriculture. Precision in every pass and consistent depth and better yield. Visit DutchOpeners.com. On farm for you.
The one, the only, Mr. Darian Durant. Darian, I don't know if you heard us. We were talking about Tommy Stevens, and apparently he likes Stone Cold as a nickname. Thoughts?
Not bad. Not bad. I mean, Stone Cold was a bad man, and on short yardage situations, Tommy's the same way. So I don't mind that one at all.
Okay, we have the approval from Darian Durant, so now it's official. Now we're good.
Yeah.
Now we're good.
Let's do it.
Well, Darian, let's talk. Only 3 games so far, but in week 1, we had some dramatic finishes. What stood out to you on the CFL opening weekend?
Well, for me, it's Edmonton going pretty much across the country and getting a big win in Ottawa, and just the way Justin Rankin is just looking like he's going to run through defenses this year is crazy. I mean, we all knew he had that breakaway ability, but I mean, just making guys miss, out of the backfield, catching the ball. It doesn't matter. He seems to be able to do any and everything he wants. And if he's going to continue with this big playability, then I see this Edmonton team being pretty tough to deal with in the West. So we saw how tough they were last year with Cody replacing Trey Ford towards the end of the season. And it's looking like they're trying to pick up where they left off last year and playing some good football. So Edmonton right now is my standout for week 1.
Was the weather always that crappy when you played in Ottawa?
Luckily, I never had a bad game out there, but I've been. It seems like a trend, though, right? It seems like 2 or 3 times a year, you're going to get a terrible, rainy, ugly day in Ottawa, and you just have to cross your fingers and hope that it's not the game that you go out there and play those guys, because it just doesn't look like a fun atmosphere at all.
So, if you had to pick your conditions, and you had to pick one, which would you play in? Extreme wind, -40, or downpour rain?
Oh, wow. I'll go minus 40. Yeah, I would go with the minus 40. At least I could, it's dry. I can have a grip of the football. And I'm just speaking from a quarterback's perspective. I think other positions may have different answers. But for me, not having a wet football or not having the ball change midair as you're throwing it at a guy, I'll take the cold weather any day.
So when you watched the games this weekend, what were you watching for to give you a sign that this team is prepared and ready to become a good team in 2026?
Well, when I look at Winnipeg, I wanted to see if they would come into the season running the ball. It seems like if you go back to the Andrew Harris days, then, as it rolls over to Brady Oliveira, when they run the ball, when they focus on running the ball and take the pressure off of Zach and could have a balanced attack, then that's where they're at their best. And it seems like they put a point of emphasis to be able to run the ball to start this season. So that's what I saw looking at the Winnipeg Calgary game. I knew that Montreal was pretty much going to win. They're just a tough team, man. And, it's always tough to play those guys. Bo had a good game. Just one bad play kind of changed the trajectory of that game, as we all know. But Montreal is always so tough to beat, and with Davis Alexander, man, he seems to not lose in the regular season. So he's keeping that going. And like I said with Edmonton, just a big win on the road in Ottawa. And they're showing that they're trying to be one of the top teams in the West. So I think, once again, we're going to have a strong Western division, and each team is going to be there to fight to the end.
I had to apologize to my family. I may have cussed at the television during the Calgary-Winnipeg game. I was just shocked that both teams went away from the running game. They seemed to be so successful in the first half. Obviously, you've heard that before when you're making halftime adjustments and whatnot. And from a fan's perspective, why aren't you just turning around and handing the ball off? But there has to be more to it than that, doesn't there?
You know what? I think sometimes coaches just overthink it, man. I mean, you have this long play sheet of calls and you try to get through everything. And sometimes you get away from what's working just to get something on film to see if it works. And I think, that's what happens with the run game. You can have so much success early in games. You see that, it was a battle of two of the best backs in the league. I mean, you would think that they would just continue to do that, but I think it's just a situation where coaches just outthinking themselves. It seemed like a boring game. You want to make the game exciting. I don't know, but for both teams to go against the run and to basically just put it on the back burner, I don't understand that at all.
So you've run the ball for 91 yards in the first half. Darian Durant is in the huddling up with the offense. The play call comes in from the sidelines. You look at your wristband. You go, "What the heck?" Is that happen in a game or no?
Well, I'm not going to say that happened, but it's probably been when there's been a run play called, and based on the defensive look, I probably was supposed to audible to a pass play, but decided to run the ball anyway, knowing that our offensive line is pretty much handling everyone up front. Running back, he's hot. I'm going to continue to give him the ball. And if coach asks me in the meetings the next day or when I come to the sideline what happened, I'll just tell him, I gave it to the hot hand. I get that this is what I was supposed to do with the audible, but sometimes you just have to, I guess, buck the system, man, and do what's working.
So just going back to this weekend really quick, do you think, based on what you saw from Winnipeg, I know it's only one game, are they starting to shut down those aging roster comments? Do you think that is that going to be a concern for you heading into this year?
Well, we'll see. I think it's only one game, so we don't know yet. But I can tell you what, they're off to a good start at shutting up the naysayers. And I think that it's just all about turning around and handing the ball off to your running backs and not putting Zach in harm's way so much. I mean, we know that he has a history of injuries. You don't want him to take such massive hits. So you want to turn around and give the ball to like Oliveira. He only had 3 touchdowns last year, and that's just not enough for a back of his caliber. So, it's good to see him start off the season hot and Winnipeg deciding that they want to run the ball. And I think if they continue to have that balance, then they'll be fine. And defensively, you look at Willie Jefferson, he looks good. He looks like he's energized. And, so for now, I think that you really could just put the old guy talk away and just continuously to look at these guys and see what they can do. And so far they look good.
We were talking earlier and using hockey, right? When we were talking about Mitch Marner and how maybe a fresh start in a new city got him re-energized, reinvigorated. Do you think you could see that from Tim White? Again, former 1,000-yard receiver with the Hamilton Ticats. He kind of battled through it last year, and I thought he looked pretty good in his debut as a Winnipeg Blue Bomber.
He did, and he's an explosive player. And, I just think that some nagging injuries, situational things may have gotten him in the doghouse in Hamilton. But, like you said, a change of scenery could do so much for you. It can re-energize you. It can give you such a great feeling inside. And for him to go to a team that is just heartbreak after heartbreak when they get to the playoffs, can't seem to get over the hump. And now you go to a veteran team like Winnipeg, veteran guys in the locker room, a veteran quarterback who understands offenses. Not saying Bo doesn't, but just getting with a different guy who sees the game differently can definitely give you that refreshing feeling. And it seems like he's headed in that direction.
So is it a good thing or a bad thing that Nick Dembski didn't get the football until the third quarter? Is it good because they didn't need him to have the football until the third quarter? Or is it, what's this new offensive coordinator doing with our guy that's as Luke likes to call, right? He says Nick Dembski, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers' success runs through him.
You know what? I think it'll take some time for Nick and the offensive coordinator to kind of get on the same page, and so they can figure out the game flow, what Nick does well, and when to implement the type of plays that can let Nick flourish. So I'm not worried about it. I think the biggest thing in Winnipeg is that they went into a tough environment week one and got a win. Me knowing Nick personally, he's never been a me guy. He's always about the team. He's always about winning. He just goes out and does his part. And especially at this part of his career, I mean, numbers are very important, don't get me wrong, but I'm sure he's all about winning, and he feels okay knowing that he didn't get a lot of catches, but they won the game.
You know Nick Dembski better than anyone. Why? What makes him successful, right? When you look at him on paper, you're like, well, he's not the tallest guy, and well, maybe he's not the fastest guy ever, but when you need him, he's there.
He's a smart football player. I mean, he understands where to be on each and every play. He understands whether, and I think pace is a really great word to describe Nick. No, he's not the fastest guy, but he plays at such a good pace. He knows when to run and be full throttle. He knows when to coast through zones on defense. So his knowledge, his ability to change speeds and, knowing how to get open. I think that's what makes him special. He was a returner when he first got to the league. He played a little bit of running back. He played some receiver. So he can do everything. He has just a knack for making big plays. So you just can't put your finger on one thing that he does well. He just does so many things well.
Heading into this weekend, Darian, it's a pretty special one for Rider Nation. You know, it's week 2. They've waited a little bit. They're going to be unveiling that banner at Mosaic Stadium, that 5th spot. You've been there. You were there in 2013 and you saw that banner unveiled. What does that mean as a player?
Well, it's special. I mean, you can't take away how special that feeling is. Everything that you've been through, it kind of makes you reminisce on the previous year, and it brings back all the memories from game to game. But this is a little bit different, I think. I think back in my day, it was pretty much a Grey Cup rematch, right? I mean, you're playing against the team you ended the season with last year, but now it's a Western playoff rematch. And I think that's huge because now you get to set the tone in your division. You get to now go against, the team you knocked out of the playoffs. So there's a lot more meaning to the game. And I'm not saying East versus West, it's not meaningful. I'm not saying that at all. But we all know that interdivision matchups, especially in the West, they mean so much. So to get after it, to see Winnipeg and Calgary get after it early, and now to see Saskatchewan and BC go at it week 1. I think you may have to kind of forget about the ceremony a little bit because BC's going to come in hungry. So if Saskatchewan's not ready, BC could come in and hit them right in the mouth, and I'm sure that they don't want that to happen. So more than anything, they'll appreciate the ceremony, but these guys will be ready to go because they know that BC's hungry and they'll be ready to go this year.
After you win a championship, are you a different player?
I wouldn't say that. I think it depends on your love for the game, how what drives you internally. Speaking for myself, I wanted to get another one. I think that, to make history in Saskatchewan could be the biggest thing ever. So I think that the opportunity this year's Rough Rider team has is pretty much, the same situation we were in with an opportunity to go back to back. So I think these guys are hungry. I think they're better players than they were last year. I mean, they lost some key guys up front and some key veterans in the locker room for sure. But, the guys that are returning and want to go out there and prove that they can pretty much compete for another cup, I think they're hungry. So I think you'll see a better group of Rough Rider players more so than a different group.
You think there was an advantage to that week 1 bye?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, as far as your bodies goes, I mean, these guys are good. I mean, everyone is healthy. An extra week, no banging. You can take care of your body, extra treatment, all these things. It definitely matters. So as anxious as I know they are to play, I think they appreciate that bye and being able to take care of their bodies for another week.
a couple of either or questions then. So is your mind or your physical body, right? Your fitness level, your physicality, which is going to be sharper when you get into week number 1 after a bye week?
I think your mind. Now, going through camp, you're playing against your defense, different looks here, different things you're worried about, other guys you're trying to see who's competing for what position. But for the past few weeks, they've been able to just focus on BC. So I think game plan wise, the guys will be sharp. They know what they're doing. They pretty much know the looks that BC will present for them on game day. So mentally, I think they're very sharp because of the extra prep time that they've been able to have to get ready for this game. Physically, they'll be fine. The guys have been. You get out there, you run a couple gassers, you put in the extra work, you get in the weight room, you'll be fine conditioning wise. But mentally, I think it definitely helped. Both teams for sure, but specifically for the Riders to be able to prepare for BC for and that potent offense for a few weeks, it'll definitely benefit them.
Who's got the advantage, either offense or defense?
Well, of course, the Riders are at home, and you're playing at Mosaic, so I think the Riders definitely have the home crowd advantage. We'll see when the hype dies down and the whistles blow, what goes on up front. Like I've always said, man, and I've been saying it this entire offseason, I'm anxious to see this Rider D line and what they can do up front after some key losses. So it's going to be interesting to see, but I like the Riders at home. I think it'll be a crazy, emotional, any word you want to use to describe it. The environment's going to be nuts, and I'm looking forward to it.
Head coach Corey Mace was on, and we talked about the great starts that his team has had in 2024 and 2025. How important is it to set that tone early in the season? I know that you play 18 games, but on a scale of importance, how important is it to get out to that good start in game 1?
It's huge. And like I said, when we started, it was against an Easter team. So, you could kind of get your feet up under you, get a game in, get used to the action, but it's not against a Western team where it matters most. But now you're playing against your division opponent, and you have to be ready immediately. So these games early on are so important. We talked earlier in the show about Edmonton and how they've improved. So I don't think you'll see the same bottom-dwelling Edmonton Elks team like you did last year. Every single team in the West is going to be tough. So that makes these early season games that much more important.
This may sound ridiculous. The Riders play BC 3 times, right? This is the only time the Riders play BC in Regina this season. So I don't know if that adds more or not. Do players think about that?
Of course. You want to see who you play multiple times. You want to see where those games are. I remember when I played, we didn't have much success in BC, but so if I had seen that on and I was still playing, I wouldn't like it. But these guys, they travel different, they prepare different. Everything's just laid out red carpet style for these guys. So I think they'll be good to go. And like I said, Coach Mace, former coach, former player, he's been through it all. He knows exactly how to get these guys prepared. So, I don't see it being a big deal.
You mentioned carpet. How terrible was that turf at BC Place?
Oh my gosh, it was horrible. And let's talk about the one at Mosaic Stadium as well, Old Taylor Field. It's just different times, man. It's all about the players now. If they don't like the turf, they'll take it up, they'll loosen it, they'll do whatever for the players to make sure they're comfortable. So we just live in a different time, and the players are the product, and everyone sees it, and you have to make sure they're okay.
When would the last time have been, and I ask this because there's grass in BC Place Stadium right now for the World Cup of Soccer, right? When would be the last time that you played on a grass surface?
Well, there's grass at BMO in Toronto.
That's right. You're right, of course.
Yeah. So, you still kind of get that true football field coming from the West once a year. But, so that's the best surface, in my opinion. There have been studies to show, and a lot of knee injuries come from the turf. But the groundkeepers, they do such a great job of keeping it soft enough so that there's enough give for the player. So turf is not that bad, not as bad as it used to be.
What about Commonwealth? Did you ever play on the grass there, or was it turf?
Yeah, my first couple years, there was grass at Commonwealth, but that wasn't. I wouldn't call that grass. That was, I don't know, and I'm sure anyone who played during my time could attest to this. That was just, it was like playing on ice. Seriously, it didn't matter what time of the year you would slip and fall. They always, kept it wet. I didn't understand.
And teams weren't allowed on the turf before the game, right? Like before game day, right?
Exactly. For the paint purposes, they get out there, they paint the logos, all that kind of stuff, and then they're watering that grass. Edmonton was the only team that could get ready on it, and it was kind of a setup. But the league has changed that. Now it's even playing fields across the league now, so it's great.
So as Darian Durant, what would you say in that locker room to the team before they head out on Saturday?
First and foremost, don't get caught in the hype. Don't worry about the ceremony. We're last year's champions, right? This is a totally new year. Yes, we have a bigger bullseye on our back because we have to defend that crown, but it doesn't matter anymore. This is a new season. BC's coming in here to get after us, and it's all about getting out of here 1-0. It doesn't matter how we do or what the score is, a 1-point game or a 40-point game. As long as we come out on top, that's all that matters. So that's what I'm telling my guys. It's going to be an electric atmosphere. Just don't get caught up in the hype. We have a game to win, and let's go out there and make sure we go 1-0 this week.
Damn, I want to strap on the cleats.
You could. You could, as long as it's grass.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Darian Durant, we appreciate your time as always. Love the conversations, and we'll have to do this again next week. See how week 2 fared for the green and white.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you. That is Double Talk with Darian Durant for Dutch Agriculture. Now, we are going to take a quick break. We still have another guest who's going to be joining us before the end of the show.
I feel embarrassed that I forgot that Darian played on the grass at BMO.
Why do you feel embarrassed? How dare you not know everything about grass?
No, but I just had thought that for some reason I didn't think that he played on BMO. I thought that all of his games were at Rogers Center, but no, obviously Darian knows, and obviously he's right, and I was wrong.
I would think. But
so,
it's okay. You're allowed to forget where grass has been and where turf has been.
Okay, I was going to give you a trivia question.
I mean, try me. I'm probably going to get it wrong.
So, BMO Field in Toronto, or whatever it's called now, Toronto Stadium or whatever for the World Cup, has got grass. Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton was the last to have grass before BMO Field. What was the other playing surface that was grass in the Canadian Football League, or where?
Was that Taylor Field?
No, it was not. It had grass at the same time as Edmonton was playing on grass at Commonwealth, but then this team switched, and then
McMahon?
No.
BC plays?
No.
There's only 9 teams. Just tell
I know
me.
you're gonna get it sooner or later. You narrowed all of them down just about, but yeah, no, I'll.
Text us 306-936-6262. See if you can get it. I mean, it's probably not that hard. Process of elimination.
Well,
right?
yeah, you narrowed it down.
I narrowed it down pretty well for you, so you're welcome. You are welcome, SportsCage listeners.
Well, and to be fair, this you would not know this. I would not think.
Was it a little before my time? Is that what you're saying?
I'm thinking it probably was.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't need to talk about ages. It's fine.
I agree.
Red Sox report coming up with Justin Simard shortly here, so hang tight, okay? We're going to be back in a moment. It's a SportsCage on the home of Rider Nation, 620 CKRM, and streaming at sportscage.com.
It's time for the Sports Ticker, brought to you by Steelcraft Doors Regina, made in Western Canada for Western Canadians.
Okay, let's look at your sports ticker for Steelcraft Doors. Western Canadian Baseball League action regular season. Of course, Swift Current 57s will be traveling to Medicine Hat, or they're in Medicine Hat, to take on the Mavericks at 7 o'clock tonight. In the majors, you got the Jays taking on the Phillies right now. I'm waiting for the score to be updated, but they're just showing a replay right now, so I'll give you that update in a second. Patrick Corbin on the mound versus Sanchez. Dylan Cease and Max Scherzer will be returning to the rotation this week for the Jays. John Schneider announced that Cease will be getting the start tomorrow night, and then Wednesday night is when you're going to see Scherzer back. So Philly is up 2-0 right now, bottom of the second, and 1 out. Clement is up to bat. Let's see here. Peter Laviolette was hired by the Los Angeles Kings. They just announced that. And then SportsCage.com poll. Which CFL Week 1 winning team impressed you the most? Let us know what you think. You can vote at SportsCage.com. And I will just give this a quick little refresh here to see where we're at. Montreal with 18% of the votes, about 22% for Winnipeg, and then Edmonton running away with it, 59.21% of the votes. So let us know what you think. Which Week 1 winning team impressed you the most at SportsCage.com. And you're always welcome to join us. Join in the conversation. Prairie Land Rentals text line. Make sure you go deal with the owner. From power tools to skid steers, they got everything, okay? Go to 600 Albert Street. Kelly, ding, ding, ding. Got the right answer to your question.
Winnipeg.
Oh, Curtis
Winnipeg.
didn't have your mic on. Yes,
That's all right.
Winnipeg.
Probably sounded better. Winnipeg.
So yes, Kelly Stewart, you got it right.
1988. They took turf, or they installed turf at Winnipeg Stadium.
I was a little before my time.
There you go.
Jeffrey, to your credit, also, you had it right in the YouTube chat. The text just came in a little bit earlier, so way to go. I did a little bit of the work for you.
Fair.
I only listed off like 3 CFL franchise locations, and then...
No, Winnipeg, actually, the old Winnipeg Stadium was very unique in that...
Was it in the same location?
No, it wasn't. It was over. It used to be called Polo Park. It still may be called Polo Park, but
Don't
it used
they have
to
a
be,
mall by Polo Park?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there was the Winnipeg Arena, but like so it was kind of like a T, if you can believe it or not. There was the stadium with grandstands on either side, and then the field that they would play on. But then the practice field was at the other end, like a T.
Oh.
So I believe that was the south end. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But. Something else, like it was interesting. So the practice field is right over there, and then there's the field that they play on.
How times have changed.
Oh yeah, right.
And now you have state-of-the-art facilities like the ones the current CFL teams play in. I mean, even just Mosaic Stadium here in Regina. Right? It's just
there's some
incredible.
people that are probably going state-of-the-art McMahon Stadium. What?
Well,
no,
I didn't
I'm
say
kidding.
all
I'm
of
joking.
them.
I'm joking.
I didn't say all of them.
Actually, and you know what? I was asked recently in an interview, my favorite place to call a game on the road, Calgary.
Is it just because of the broadcast booth setup or the view of the field?
Yeah, great vantage point.
Okay.
No, you're not there. There's nothing interfering with your view. You've got clear shots of the scoreboard. They've got a red light actually for when the light when we go to commercial break, so you know all the time. So that's
handy.
I like it. I know that there's, and again, I probably called the most games outside of Saskatchewan in that facility.
Well, and it's interesting that you say that's probably one of the best places to call a CFL game, and then you have the Saddle Dome, which I've heard is historically one of the worst places to call a game for hockey.
Yeah,
they got to meet somewhere in the middle.
I've done games in the Saddle Dome, and I would agree it's tough.
Yeah, well, they're getting a new stadium.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to going and seeing it eventually, maybe one day. Okay, so that was, I guess, your very long-winded sports ticker for Steelcraft Tours, made in Western Canada for Western Canada. But yes, let's go out on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline, shall we? This is your Red Sox report.
Showcasing the boys of summer. Time for another edition of the SportsCage Regina
report. There we go. We killed the intro a little early. That's okay. But joining us now, Justin Simard of the Regina Red Sox. Justin, appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's got to feel good to be back. You're in Regina, Red Sox for your 3rd season. What makes Regina feel like the right place to spend the summer?
It is a different group. Most of the years I've been here, there's usually from my first year here, I think there's only 3 that are still here with the team, but every year it seems like we have a good group of guys, so I'm always excited to come back.
How has your role changed since your first year? I imagine you're kind of seen as one of the, veteran guys who's been here for a little while, kind of knows the lay of the land.
It's changed a lot. Like my first year, we had a different head coach than we do now. Rye Pathakos, he was still involved, but he wasn't our on-field manager that year. So that's definitely changed having him around. And just because I was a freshman my first year, so I was a young kid still trying to figure some things out. But now I'm 22 years old, so I've been playing baseball for a while now. So I figured out just how to lead a team and how to be led by some of the younger guys that are pretty talented.
How has the Western Canadian Baseball League helped your development?
I would say there's a lot of talent here. There's a lot of baseball here from all over the world, really. Like this year, we have a kid from France, and I faced kids from Panama and all that. Just seeing all these different cultures and seeing how they play baseball, it showed me a lot of different styles of how people play and stuff like that. So just taking a bunch of different styles and making it my own. So I think that's helped with my development over the past years for sure.
So take me back. You're a California kid. You're a freshman in college, and you get this phone call from Regina, Saskatchewan, Canada. Hey, you want to come up and play some ball? What was that conversation like, and what did you know about the league and this city before you arrived?
I didn't know much. I'll be honest with you. I really didn't know much about the league. I just got that phone call. I remember it vividly. I was with my head coach from college, and he said, "Hey, like, wanting you to go play some summer ball. Do you care where it is?" And I go, "Not really. I really don't." And he goes, "Well, I know a guy," and it was Rye. And he said, "If you want to go up, do you want to?" I go, "Yeah, sure. Why not?" I just wanted to explore and play baseball wherever I can. So this is kind of the first place that offered me, and I took it, and it's been a blessing ever since.
Did family and friends go Saskatchewan what?
They knew what Saskatchewan was, but they did not know what Regina was.
Cue all the jokes, right? The ones that we've heard 1,000 times.
I'm sure.
So the organization brought back several pieces from last year's championship team. How important was that in terms of continuity when you decided to come back to Regina?
Honestly, I was probably coming back regardless, but at the same time, I did have such a blast last year, and winning the whole thing was pretty cool. It was a really cool time. But it made me definitely more excited knowing that I'm going to see a lot of the buddies that I won with. So that was a good time. So yeah, I mean, it just makes it more fun.
How are you feeling out on the field? Feeling pretty confident? Feeling just as good as last year at the plate?
Yeah, I feel great. I'm just excited. I'm having my last little time here, having a good time. Just ready to keep playing baseball. I got a lot of games left, and I'm excited to see where the season goes.
One thing is for sure that in a WCBL game, you just never want to take your eye off of it because something always seems to happen. Where does that level of excitement come from?
It comes from deep down. Like, you know, like you want to play good, you want to have fun, and you want to just go out there and play to the best of your abilities. And it's just kind of, that's, some people have it, some people don't, but I would say most baseball players do have that extra gear that you can kick into.
You're playing an awful lot of games in a very short amount of time. How do you keep your body and mind right?
This is my favorite question I've ever gotten. So I could definitely be doing. Because it's such a tough one to answer. Because I could definitely do a lot better with my body, with like stretching and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna lie to you, it gets to a point like these first like 20 games, easy, you can get through it. Once it gets to like game 25, 30, your brain just kind of shuts off and you kind of just go do it. Like it is what it is. Like, if you don't feel great, it is what it is. You just keep going. But yeah, just a lot of stretches, a lot of recovery stuff. Just try to keep it as simple as I can.
So what's the biggest part of your game that you've worked on since last WCBL season?
Biggest part of my game, probably just finding more ways to get on base, because I'm not the biggest power hitter in the world, so I have to get on base as much as I can in any sort of way, really. Taking better at bats, taking longer at bats, whatever it may be. That's probably the most I've worked on.
Had a taste of the season so far. What makes the Regina Red Sox, or what will make you successful moving forward?
The camaraderie we have is getting a lot better from where it started the first few games, as it always is, because it's a new team. But I really like these new pieces that we got in. We got 2 guys actually that came in today. One of them, Daniel Castellanos, who was on the team last year where we won. He came in today. And then we had another catcher. I can't remember his name, but he's from Indiana State. So we got 2 new pieces that come in today, and Jalen Myers comes in today. We're just keep getting more and more pieces that are going to help us along the road.
How important are these early season wins?
I mean, I would love to win every single game, but obviously there's only one team to ever do that, and that's Shreveport. That doesn't happen very often.
Last year.
Yeah. So there's only one team to ever really do that. We have one of them coming back, Ian Montz. But yeah, like, are they important? Yes. Like, you want to win every single game, but at the same time, the main goal, let's get the playoffs. That's the main goal. However that is, let's just get the playoffs, and then anything can happen from there.
Can I ask a trivia question? Am I allowed to do that? Are you good at trivia, Justin?
Depends what, but probably not.
Well, let's try it. What does
we'll give it a go.
Justin Simard, Major League Baseball player Mike Napoli, Tamara Judge from Desperate Housewives of Orange County, and Mark Sanchez from the National Football League all have in common?
Got to remember you're included in that.
I am. That's an interesting thing to be included in because I actually know one of the Orange County housewives, which is really funny.
Is it Tamara Judge?
Well, it is not Tamara. It is Brian Boyajian. Do you know who that is?
I'd like to say that
my old soccer coach. He was my old soccer coach when I was a kid. He's on
How
that show.
How is that
That's
even
funny.
possible?
This is so awesome. You have no idea the awesomeness. What's your
I have
hometown?
no idea where we have. Ladera Ranch, California.
All of you are from Ladera Ranch, California.
Really?
Dave just taught you something about yourself.
Oh, I did not know Mike Napoli was from Ladera Ranch, California. I feel like I would have known that. That's funny.
See, we're learning new things today, Justin.
Yeah.
This is good.
That is wild. That is wild.
In all seriousness, sport is such a small community, right? Like, it always seems like somebody knows somebody. Like, how familiar are you with some of the faces that you see on the other teams throughout the course of the season?
Oh, like a lot. Like it just by playing here for 3 years, like they're all the same faces. Like the Volcanoes from Med Hat. Like I've gotten to know them pretty well, and some of the Berries I've gotten to know decently. Murdoch, the Swift Current kid. But yeah, like I've just seeing their faces every single day for 50 games a year, like you start to get to know those guys. Especially, and the coaches as well. Like you get to know them as well. It's kind of fun.
For better or for worse, you know, sometimes we let our tempers flare a little bit.
Oh, yeah. That's baseball for you, though.
That's half the fun of it. But you're back on the field tomorrow night, and we really appreciate you taking the time to let us get to know you a little bit better before you head back out there tomorrow. Enjoy the day off.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
Why do I feel like I'm going to be TiVoing Desperate Housewives of Orange County now? Just so we can get that mutual connection.
That's funny. Yeah, I haven't talked to him in years, though. That is funny that was brought up.
Now you're going to have to text him and say, hey, guess what I learned from the Ryder play-by-play voice?
That's like
funny.
Definitely one of the best name drops of all time, though. You got to give that one. Like, that's an award winner.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good. Justin Simard, appreciate your time. Thank you so much for this.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Appreciate it. That is your Red Sox report brought to you by Unifor 594. Man, we're getting close to the top of the clock here, so I feel like we should probably take a quick break. And then we'll come back. We'll talk a little bit of, what's happening tonight. A little bit of Rough Rider Foundation 50-50. We'll be back in a sec, okay? It's the Sports Cage. Wow, Tegan. Sports Cage on the home of local sports on 620 CKRM and streaming at sportscage.com. Appreciate you taking the time, as always. Monday edition of the Sports Cage. Tegan Whitco with you. And, of course, Mr. Dave Thomas, voice of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders, with me. And the guy who's keeping us on the radio, 620 CKRM. He's also keeping us on the stream, sportscage.com. YouTube, X, I'm probably missing a few places. Curtis Gammon, he's with us. By the way, if you missed out on any of the conversations we had earlier today, you can always go back and listen in podcast form, brought to you by Freeze Tallman. And we had some pretty dandy conversations, if I do say so myself. Had head coach Corey Mace on the Riders Coaches Show. That was a fun conversation heading into the first game of the regular season for the Riders in week 2 this Saturday at Mosaic Stadium as the BC Lions are in town. And then we also had a very special guest from Moose Jaw, Bobby Hill. Now, he's the president of Moose Jaw Little League. It's a pretty big day in Moose Jaw, and deservingly so. They're quite proud of this. They ended up winning $150,000 through the Jays Care Foundation. And that's going to go toward, new lights. Yeah. I don't know if you've ever been to Gamble Diamond before. They could use it.
I have not. Actually.
You're going to have to go now.
Yeah, there you go.
It's such a cool addition to that city. I know that there was some controversy around one of their other bald diamonds a little while back, but no, we wanted to celebrate Bobby Hill, the president of Moose Jaw Little League, and of course all the players who got this incredible opportunity to upgrade Gamble Diamond, of course. And, in addition to that, we also had Darian Durant on, as we do every Monday, just after 5. So he had his say in what we're looking forward to in this upcoming Rider game. And then if you just missed it, we learned a little something new about Justin Simard of the Regina Red Sox. And that is, Dave?
He's a good baseball player. No, that's not new.
He has a very special connection with some celebrities based on his hometown.
That's right. Orange County. The Desperate Housewives of Orange County.
From Orange County to Regina, Saskatchewan.
His former soccer coach. Jeez. That is so cool.
It is actually pretty cool. So if you want to go back and listen to that, you can at any time if you're just catching the end of this right now, because we're going to be calling her quits for the day pretty quickly here. I did also want to mention one more time here, Rough Rider Foundation 50/50. That's happening right now. Tomorrow, 10 o'clock. That's your deadline. Early bird prize draw to be happening every single game. You can tell it's been a long day. I'm losing my words now. Riders 50/50, 5050.ca if you want to win the summer Rocky Mountain family getaway. 3 nights at Malcolm Hotel in Canmore, an Icefield adventure, and a ride on the Banff Gondola. That's what you can win this week if you buy before 10 o'clock tomorrow. You can also take the money, $3,600 in cash. Riders 5050.ca. Dave, you don't really strike me as the prediction type of person.
Okay, sure.
You don't want to pick the score? Sastel pick the score?
Oh, heavens, no.
For the Rider game this Saturday? No? Is that blasphemous?
No, it's superstitious.
Oh.
It's a different issues.
It's a different issues. Okay. Good to know.
Superstitious. No, I don't.
Well, you're not.
It always turns out there's no win situation.
You're not eligible for the prize anyway.
Well, that's true.
Okay, so you get a couple of opportunities. So today, tomorrow, Wednesday.
Yes.
Right now, what we're going to get you to do is text in, not call in. Just for right now, text us. Prairie Land Rentals text line 306-936-6262. Predict the score. What do you think the final is going to be? Riders, Lions, Saturday, banner unveiling game, welcoming all Rider fans back to the Heartland.
Like I say, I was there in 2014, and it was one of those unforgettable moments when you raise a banner, right, to celebrate a championship. And I know the players are downplaying it, and I know that Coach Mace is, and they have to, right? Like, they're looking ahead to this year.
1-0.
But it truly is one of those things that, like, as a sporting fan, you can say, yeah, I was there. Mm-hmm. And again, you can
where
get
were
in,
you type of moment.
Absolutely, yeah. Right? And so, like I said, I was mentioning the watermelon packs earlier. Then it was brought to my attention, Dave, don't forget, if you go to a co-op, you get a $20 ticket, right? Mm-hmm. So that's anywhere in the province, too. So
you can also still, actually, there was someone who texted us, Prairie Land Rentals text line. They said that they also have those, what do you call them? The scratch tickets, the Riders scratch tickets.
Yes.
Someone, I think, won like $18.
Wow.
Was that Paul?
That's amazing.
Oh, no, Wade won $7 on Friday. Woo! Way to go, Wade. Hey, yeah. I mean, you made money. You made money on that bad boy. Oh, by the way, I should mention, closest guess to the actual score every week, $200 Sastel gift card. That's what you could win.
That's pretty cool.
So text us for your prediction, 306-936-6262. Curtis, you have something to add before we say sayonara?
I guess I'd feel a little sense of remiss if I didn't show my amazing artwork that I did way earlier in the show when Dave was really angry with the CFL scheduling. I asked him if he was a fan of The Simpsons because it's a Simpsons reference, but I very crudely hit Dave's face on the old newspaper old man yells at the CFL schedule.
I love it.
Not that you're old, Dave. But I'm sorry. anyways, we're out of time, by the way. So I think that's the end of the show.
Oh no! If you're watching the stream, you can see how poorly that was received. Okay, we gotta go. On behalf of myself, Dave Thomas, Curtis Gammon, and
Hey
everybody
Dave,
else.
how was the show? I don't know. It depends.
Who you ask? You're not old.
Let's go.
Good night from the corner of 12th and Rose in downtown Regina. Thank you for taking the time.